Yo, the time has come, and I'm looking forward. Oh wait, I need to turn my audio back down. Um, okay, I'm playing some Jinteki today, so I'm gonna just jump right in. Folly JM, hey, this list looks mean, and I love it. So okay, I usually like don't play trap decks. But yeah, like this deck looks super mean. I was showed this by like I was told that the Polish meta just has like some really wild things going on. And I was gonna come play. I was gonna play some Egg Infusion today, anyways. And I was like shown this list like maybe an hour ago. So I thought I'd start with it and see how it goes because, and I'll show my list later as well because my list has is a bit more like normal Jinteki Glacier, but this one's kind of just trying to kill the runner. You got data loops, Kakugos, snares, and then Wanza City Grid. Hopefully Giles is watching. He loves a bit of egg. Yeah. Yeah, and Giles has been playing some like some woo as well that I've been pretty interested in. Yeah, so I was thinking, well, I'm just gonna jump into this and let's see how it goes. I actually have no idea what to expect. Need more divert power. I agree. I agree. And here's let me just import this and then I will. This is the list that I'm gonna play later today. This is my egg infusion, and this has divert power. Hey Sako, what are we doing? We're playing egg infusion. We're gonna start with this like trappy egg infusion, and then I'm showing this because Wentagon mentioned divert power, and yeah, my version has two divert powers. Uh, there's no Vlad grid like combo, so that's kind of sad. But you can divert power to like D-res anemones and D-res like reset Maryland campaigns. You got mind games in here, and you can like res something big. And biobots as well also cost 0. D-resing anemone busted. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it. It's really good at protecting oboes in hand. So I'm excited to get into that. But first, let's try the trap deck and see how that goes. So egg infusion. Okay, and I'm just gonna make the game, and then I'll just go from there. I've played a lot of games recently, but I was going to just go and copy one of these. Corp. Create. Okay, and then I'm gonna... Give me a second, guys. There we go. And that's the whole thing. Nice. Yeah, we're gonna try to kill some people with Snare Mwanza City Grid. I'm probably gonna... I don't know. I was gonna say like I'm probably gonna make a couple misplays with the Mwanza because that's not a card I usually play with. Because I think one big thing with Mwanza is you've gotta like get it down, and then you want to use it at the right time, but then you also need to keep something in hand so you can overwrite it, because you don't want to like keep it up the whole time. But I guess with 3 copies of Ganked and 3 Prisec, you have things that you can install on Centrals. Nerd Frog, how's it going? You joined the Vancouver server recently, and you're here. That's amazing. I'm looking forward to meeting you and everybody else in Vancouver in a couple months. I'm psyched to catch a stream live for once. Rare Friday night off work. Nice. Yeah, very happy to have you. Do I jump in here? You can if you want. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, we're against a Zahya. 40 cards. Zahya, 40 cards. This seems okay. See, I don't really know what we're looking for. I'm just gonna keep this, and then we're gonna move everything over a bit, just so we can align it to the edge. Okay, start turn. Snare in hand. Fine. So we'll just ice hedge fund, and then if we run anywhere, we'll res. Because if we hit a DNA and we lose the longevity out of hand, that's fine. Ooh, okay, wow. Oh no, okay, so draw a card, gamble, run R&D. So we're actually, like, this DNA is making them lose $6. The power of an early DNA tracker. What do we lose? Falsified, E shutdown, dirty laundry. Okay. The other thing is, I usually don't put DNA tracker in my Jinteki decks because, especially against Krim, like they put a Mina down and it costs 4 to break, and then you just basically never res it. But you know, early it hits. But Anansi would have hit there as well. So, let me just click for 3 here. We click for 3 just so we can res the Kakugo and fire snare. So in case she runs aggressively on HQ, we have money. We don't have gift in here, do we? No, we don't. We have hedge fund and Hansi review. We're trying to set up. Well, we're trying to just like weather the storm at the start, and then try to set up like a data loop remote and scoring 5-3s. Yikes. We have spin doctors, right? Yeah, we do. So we can pitch the gene splicer if we draw something bad. That's such a good draw. Hedge fund, Hansi review, both really good there. So we can look at making a remote at some point. Bravado. Okay, so we could just like... Oh, okay, so I could deal 3 net damage with the DNA tracker if I want. I think Kakugo's just fine. If she actually had $6, then we would probably bounce her into the DNA. But since she doesn't, like it only does 3 net damage, and we kind of want to keep the Kakugo. And we also don't want to just let her through, because if we let her through, we can get emergency shutdown, which is in the deck. Mining accident. That's super rude. That's fine. We'll just take that pump. 40 cards always feels sad when you're trying to steal oboes. It's true. It's true. A Prisek is okay. We'll probably just like Glacier up for now. You want to have an unres dice on HQ so you can like deflect run events. Anansi's not the first choice ice for that because you kind of want to res that at some point. Hi there. Why is it named Polish-Infusion? Missed the beginning. Hey, Clockots. So this is Odol's list. So if I go back here, I don't know if this looks weird. This is Odol's list, and it says this is a work in progress list for a new egg infusion brew, slowly simmering in Poland. And I was told that the Polish meta has some crazy brews, so that's why we're trying this out. This is firing. Yeah. I was just gonna play some egg infusion today because I have like a more like classic Glacier egg infusion, but we were shown this pretty last minute, like an hour ago, which is good, and I thought we'd try this out. Also, I realized that I can zoom in a bit, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, hopefully that's better. Okay, we drew another Kakugo, or not Kakugo, Oboe. That's bad. We'll try to draw out of it. Maybe we can find a spin doctor. Oh, did I lag out? Send a message. That's not good. So we want to jam this longevity serum. Okay. Egg infusion, that is so 2019. I put you up on the TV at work so everyone could slack off together. Say hi to everyone. Oh my goodness. Where do you work again, Phil? Is there anybody I know there? Or this is just like, hey, Netrunner is a cool game. Let's watch this guy get agenda flooded. This is so bad. There's 7 agendas in the deck, and there's 5 of them in hand. And there's 2 more left in R&D. No, just randos with no appreciation for the beautiful game. We do like appreciation for the beautiful game. Trap deck karma. Oh no. Okay, so we're Quetzal. So we need to be able to res this Anansi next turn. If this is another agenda, we're conceding, right? If I'm allowed to start turn. There we go. DNA tracker. Man. Okay, let's like install in a new room. I was gonna put it on archives, but if we don't find other ice, we might just need to like work with this. But the problem is, I imagine we're gonna run HQ and we're gonna have to res this Anansi. So we'll see. The Kukugo tech. Bin send a message? Maybe. Yeah, we're prepping to run Oh, spin doctor. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. We're gonna try to manually draw 2 here. Ganked is really good. Ooh. Okay, we'll just shove the spin then. Okay, hedge fund. Beautiful. So the thing is, if we shuffle the send a messages back, then the run comes in on HQ, and then it's a bit safer. So I guess that's what we do. This feels bad because HQ is like getting attacked, which is why we have to do this. But usually you want to throw your defensive agenda away so that it comes up later, and you want to try to score your send a message early, because you'd rather get like the scored. You want to try to push send a message early, and then Oboe comes up late. So maybe that was wrong, actually. Maybe we actually keep send a message and we just give her one, and then we can res the DNA tracker. Oh, we're just dead here. Not quite. Not quite. We're not quite dead. We're almost dead. Gotta finish my arts and crafts for the week before I can go home. That's fair. Have you Anansi draw a card? Sure. Subliminal's good. Phil, has Netrunner been like a lunchtime thing? You just gotta get everybody at work. And if everybody's listening, right? So what Phil's gonna do is he's gonna bring all his Netrunner cards to work, and then at lunchtime, everybody's just gonna like open season Netrunner exploration, and you get to like look at cards and get to deck build, and it'll be a great time. You know, what better thing to do than play Netrunner at lunch? I kind of regret bending send a message, but we'll see. Yeah, the turtle coming down. That's why I like putting ice on archives. Let's get the Rashida off though. Okay, we got the Anansi archives. If you've played with me, you know that I like to do this. So we'll go Anansi archives. Oh, it's probably just Anansi archives. Anansi archives. I want to say Hansi review install Spin Doctor, but I kind of want to fire the Rashida. No, Hansi review Spin Doctor is fine. And then we'll jam the longevity next turn. Yeah, this seems good. Okay, so Hansi review Spin Doctor. Let's put this... I could even put this naked. Let's put it naked. What the deck rebirth into Steve? Yo, I just learned how to play this game yesterday. I'm trying to get a decent deck now. That's awesome to hear. I hope you're enjoying it. How's the experience been so far? I've been talking to like a decent amount of newer players lately. Just like people who are joining the Green Level Clearance Discord. And it's been a great time. Is this safe? Let's just find out. We just like stack things in server 1. Oh wait, okay, I did this in the bad order. I'm gonna res this and then like actually put an ice on server 1. It's okay, we would have made the same play. Everybody that's watching, you should draw first before doing anything else. This one is indecent at best, I'd say. Can't be a coward, Rashida over spin. I thought about that. If we... I don't know, like, the thing is, like, we don't actually need to go that fast. Because I kind of want to just score this longevity serum. And then we'll look into Rashida. And, like, yeah, we're just setting up here, so... Oh, the Mwanza. Is that even good? Okay, let's score this. Choose any number. Oh shoot! Wait, we're gonna play the subliminal first. Okay, we don't need to trash anything because we want to keep the oboe. We don't need to shuffle the oboe back just yet, so I think it's just like snare and 2 hedge funds. Yeah. We'll just get the snares back so that we can, you know, maybe get a Mwanza kill. I'm entirely new, haven't even played a game yet, but your channel showed up on searching Twitch. Hey, welcome to the game. Yeah, I'm super excited that there's so many people joining and looking into the game. If you're not on Green Level Clearance Discord already, I would suggest you go there. There's a site called nearearthhub.net, spelled exactly how it sounds. That's nearearthhub.net, and it shows you all of the Netrunner community spaces and all the resources, and it's really good if you haven't checked that out. Okay. Okay, we got an emergency shutdown. I won a couple games as runner. I'm now trying to optimize my deck. What are they going to do? Run archives and steal an oboe through an Anansi? That's true. That's true. Ooh, we get to trash the Fenris. That's not even worth it. Is it? Quetzal can break data loop. It's like a really long-term game plan. How long-term are we thinking here? We just like kill the money. Okay, let's trash the $6 daily cast. Let's trash the Fenris. And let's put a Mwanza on HQ. I guess. We still have like money issues, kind of, because we need more money. We need at least $4. If we can res the Kikugo and then just bounce the DNA into the Anansi, then we're fine. But we need a couple more dollars to be able to do that. Draw 3, install class act. Okay. Subliminal back, ganked back. Ganked isn't good on the remote unless we actually res the DNA tracker. The Kikugo actually can be broken by Amakua. So we're kind of incentivized to purge. Purging's probably not worth our time right now, though, because there's only... And also we can't res the Anansi archives, so it's definitely not worth our time. Oh, this planogram draws 3 cards and gains 3 credits. That's kind of insane. Jakuza, evening. So this is how all those ice cards works. Okay, we're gonna play planogram because $3 and 3 cards is Rashida, and Rashida's good, right? Now, do we throw send a message in the remote? Probably not. If we put like gang to send a message in the remote, that could be okay. The problem is we kind of need to push, because if we don't push, jeez. Okay, I'm just gonna take $2. This might be really wrong, because it might be like just giving them a turn, but I don't really want to push when they have 8 cards in hand, because it kind of just like opens us up to being vulnerable, because we're trying to protect a little too much, I think. So I'm just gonna take $2. We're gonna weather the storm, and then we'll go from there. Do you think she's on Polop? Yeah, I guess so. We'll pop this. Trash Andy. She's having too good of a time up there. There's so much money. Well, it's a click and 2, but my money situation's like not great. Especially like we just got doofed. E shut down the Anansi sucks. Maybe put an ice on HQ so we can like get rid of the doofs. That might be worth it. But also like the Anansi derezzed now. There's only 5 cards left in the deck too, so like there's no point in trashing Andy. The Anansi should get re-rezzed. So I think we just like click for credits. This is so bad. Yeah, this is bad. We pitch the DNA tracker, I guess. This DNA tracker costs 5. And we have like other stuff on the board. So DNA tracker is just going to be... It's the same thing as Thimble Rig, where it's just going to be an Ag Infusion fodder. I was the one in the Discord yesterday asking about how to make a good personal evolution Jinteki deck. Ah! Hokusai HQ would be nice here. You're close to grinding them out. There's no Hokusai. It's the deck list is on the side there. Oh, it's actually covering the chat a bit. Oh, because I zoomed in. Sorry about that. No, there's no Hokusai. It's a Prisec and a Ganked in the remote. Jailbreak HQ. So I have to res this, because there's a Ganked in HQ and there's a Mwanza. So do we just win here? Oh no, we don't, because there's not enough. Well, okay, if the oboe gets stolen, that's 4. Yeah, so if the oboe gets stolen, then we win. If the oboe gets stolen and ganked gets accessed, what the heck? 3, 4, 5. Do we want her to see our whole hand? Oh my goodness. Okay, if we res the Mwanza, she's going to access all 5 cards. If she accesses the oboe first and steals it, then we win the game. If she accesses the ganked first, then the oboe stays in hand and we gain a bunch of money and we can res a piece of ice. So this is actually just worth resing. That's so interesting. 1 in 5 to win, 0 in 5 to lose. Seems good. Yeah. Oh wait, how do I? Is it F11 to go full screen? There we go. We went full screen. Look at that. All right. Send a message. Choose a target. Let's res. If we res the DNA, because we're gonna gain a bunch of money off the Mwanza. Ooh. Okay, let's flip the DNA because it's free. Choose a target for ganked. Into the Anansi. Fire all. Nice. Top 5 cards. We have 6 points in the top 5 cards. That's not what we want to see. The data loop is pretty good, so let's go send a message and then oboe. Yeah, we'll go send a message and then oboe. And then Mwanza data loop hedge fund. Do we need the hedge fund? Not really, because we're just going to install double advance next turn. How many doofs are in the bin? There's only 1. We might actually hedge fund and ice HQ next turn just to prevent doof first. Play super safe. So let's go Mwanza data loop hedge fund. We'll say done. We will not draw. Mando, 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 Mando. So we will not draw. And there's the oboe that we can't steal. There's the thimble rig and the kakugo. Okay. And then I gain $12. And then next turn we're going to pick up the hedge fund and put the thimble rig on HQ just so that we have a thing to bounce diversion. Because there is another diversion, and if we push... We could just push. I don't really want to get diversioned. It's actually fine, hey? Actually, it is just fine. Okay, I'm going to play safe anyways. We'll play safe anyways, but it is just fine. Lies. Reading is admitting defeat. Falsified to guess upgrade. Okay, so that's like a waste of a card because we're actually like gonna die to cards now. No, because that's the thing. Like you can play your falsified to gain more money. That's fine. Also, they're both upgrades. So I'd have to like res them both. But I'm okay with using falsified to just gain money. 3 turtle counters is not a relevant amount. 4 becomes a relevant amount. If I install double advance... think we just purge here. We're just playing safe. Like, she's lost a lot of, I would say, unnecessary cards this game, and that's what's coming back to bite her. Because now the oboes can just get stolen, or can just get scored. I don't think that's actually the plan of this deck. Like, this plan is not supposed to grind the runner. The plan is to just have like these threatening traps, and then generate scoring windows off of them. So yeah, we score this. Top card right now is an oboe. So she runs R&D, she can't steal it. And then we triple advance score. Next turn we install double advance the oboe. And there's like, the top card of the deck would be a send a message. Which is a concern. Oh. Let's bounce. I could also just let her through, because paying 5 for a Nancy and paying another 1 for... Oh, actually, Kakugo costs 5 credits. Actually, we should have let her through, because Kakugo costs way too much money. Broke, but wants to score an oboe without winning. I really like the stream tech to have your deck on stream. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like that. I think it helps a lot, in at least like from a viewer's perspective, just to see what's going on. Okay, we're gonna play safe and we're gonna draw the send a message into hand, because we can. This game is mostly over, but if we didn't draw the send a message into hand, she could technically run R&D twice and just like send a message, steal another send a message, and win the game. Or like randomly mad dash R&D if we have mad dash. So Kukugo R&D seems more important than pushing oboe. Yeah, I'm glad I have backup. Ooh, light the fire. So we just bounce you into HQ? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Access a bunch of cards. We'll just bounce you to archives. Egg Infusion's good light the fire tech. Egg Infusion's very good light the fire tech. Oh, we died at Priceek here. No. At one point, I had 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 points in hand. Not a lot to do with the Kakugo on HQ. And Kakugo R&D seems more important than... Isn't that a Kakugo? Oh, yeah. That's true. It was a Kakugo. I forgot. Nancy's a good card. News at 11. Thanks for the game. Good luck with the stream. Thank you. Okay. I think I should try that again just to see if we have a bit better like money. I don't know. The money is a little bit iffy. But I guess I don't know. It's like Mwanza's money. Whoa, Mwanza time. Yeah. We're testing out this apparently Polish egg infusion, because I was told that Poland has a very off-brand meta. So we'll give it a shot. I was gonna play egg infusion today, so that's why this came up. Oh, I'm thinking after I play like another game, then I can play my version of it. Because my version of egg infusion plays like it's a bit more like normal Glacier. It's got Vlad grid. You're actually trying to like push agendas, which I think that was kind of an issue in this game. Like, yeah, we did draw 5 agendas in the top 13 cards, which is very unlucky. But also, with a different type of deck, you can kind of like push your hand out a bit faster. I did play an Econ Nihilist. Yeah, I mean, like the pressure definitely helped in keeping my money down, but I kind of feel like just the deck just doesn't. I didn't have enough money to begin with. Are you going to Cannats to defend your title? I'm gonna be at Cannats because I'm gonna be in Vancouver already. So yeah, of course, I have to, right? See, that's the thing. Like, if no Cannats happens since 2019, which has been the case, then I've been the Canadian Nationals champion for 3 years. But the thing is, if I actually go to the next one and I actually win the next one, then I can actually say that I held the title for 4 years, and there isn't like an asterisk there that says actually no tournament happened, and that's why I'm still holding the title. But if I actually defend it, then I can actually say I held it for 4 years. The Polish are cool. Good meta, fun folk indeed. Yeah, I haven't gotten too much exposure, but this is I guess my first bit of it is to, because I hear that the Polish meta, or like the people in Poland, have like this league that they do, and apparently there's some wild things. The math adds up. Yeah. Because you have to have a start and a finish, right? You gotta win a tournament at the start, you win a tournament at the end, and then you're good. But if you win a tournament and then like just a tournament hasn't happened yet, then you can say you're the champion for 3 years. But okay, I don't know if up to you is too mean. I say up to you, not because it's like up to you if you want to embarrass yourself or not, but up to you as in you get to choose whether or not it's embarrassing, This hand seems fine. It's another criminal. I guess we'll keep it just because we have hedge fund and non-CHQ. Why is this list on Mwanza grid? Seems odd. Honestly, I agree. My answer is I agree. But it looks like with Mwanza grid and snare and Prysac and ganked, like there's a lot of on access things that can kind of hurt the runner. So I think the idea is you set up this remote with Kakugo and Data Loop as best as you can, and then from there you I think we just throw the spin on the board, and then from there you kind of wait for if the runner's not running, then you can play your remote game. But if the runner is running, then they kind of run HQ and hit traps and stuff. And you hopefully are able to create a scoring window by making the runner lose more cards than they thought they would. I think that's the idea. But the issue with that kind of game is that you're kind of waiting for the runner to misplay, and if the runner doesn't misplay, then you don't really have too much a game. You kind of have to like move your upgrades to the remote then, which is fine. Oh yeah, we got security nexus. Kakuko's good. I need a bit more credits. Ganked. Because I need 12. I need 12 to res Anansi or res Kakugo. But also, I don't know if he's going to contest a Rashida early. So we might just, like, do this anyways. And see how it goes. Let's put the DNA on... The DNA is never going to get rezzed. Let's just take $1. Don't be mean to my sweet boy Koshi. In wrestling, the two stats people trot out are how many times you've won the championship and how long you've held it. Successful defenses are de-emphasized for some reason. Huh. Is this supposed to be a grinder deck or a glacier deck? Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes is the answer. Draw 3 daily casts. Nice. Okay, so we get our Rashida. Yeah, honestly, Joe, like I'm not clear. I think it's not supposed to be grinder. It's supposed to be a card economy deck. So I'm building this remote and then I'm trying to hit a couple cards off of central runs to create scoring windows based off of how many cards the runner has in hand. This is so bad, security nexus. Like we have to rush because otherwise like we're just going to lose. So let's put like this on server 2, this in server 2, and then we'll Hanzi the DNA tracker and call it a day. And then next turn we'll jam the send a message. Okay, I should actually open... Okay, I'm going to open chat on my iPad. Draw twice, take $1, daily casts. Okay. So he's been playing relatively slowly, which is really good for us. But that is how these types of decks play, so... running R&D, fine. Stealing send a message. Okay, let's res the data loop for free. That's a shame. Do we have punitive? No, we don't have punitive. Low agenda count, high number of ambushes. It kind of makes sense. There might be something to it. Odal builds good decks. 3 gang, 3 snares, enough of a reason for Mwanza. There's also the fun cheese of using send a message to res an anemone for the kill of the access. It'd have to be, the anemone part would have to be, yeah, first of all, there's no anemone, but the anemone part would also have to be on the server that they're running, which means you chose not to res it when they ran in. Unless they're like, unless there's an anemone on HQ and they're Omar running, in which case, then you can use send a message to res anemone and have it fire. Mutual favor of a paper club. Okay, so we're both getting a send a message, it looks like. Fine. Do we greed this? No, we don't. Surely he's aware that there could be an Anansi here, right? So I just flip this. Yeah, we're just going to flip it. We're not going to try to hide that, because I think he's playing around it anyways. And we kind of do need the money. There's rogue trading. Draw a card. Okay. Rashida's excellent. Let's get a Anansi on R&D. And I guess we'll Thimble Rig the remote. Thimble Rig's pretty strong, so let's do that. Nexus versus Data Loop is reasonable tech here. Yeah, hey. Yeah, Data Loop is not great with Nexus. Citadel's fine. Okay, so now the Nexus is like fully online. And we have to jam here. We need to find an oboe. And we do find an oboe. We actually find this longevity serum as well. So we just push. Ooh, I don't think I muted there. Sorry about that. I was trying to mute in time. I didn't know when the sneeze was coming. Okay, let's score. Let's get rid of... We have 1 thimble rig, so that's good enough. We might want to put it on HQ. Nah, this is fine. Let's get rid of this. Wasn't too loud? Nice, okay. That's good. I was trying to mute, and then I had just missed the key. I'll run on R&D. So Anansi wouldn't fire, and I think we just have to hope that agendas don't come up. Which is fine, because there's 4 agendas live, and there's 3 left in the deck. Oh, the lost to Gene Spicer is bad, though. Lost Rashida as well. And hitting rogue trading. Okay. So we can score. We can get rid of data loop because we're never rezzing that. And then we can pray. Okay. This is good. I should actually move my chat situation to the other side. Let's do that. Let's close this. And then let's move this over here. Okay. We stole send a message, so now I'll just flip the Anansi. There's 2 agendas left in the... Oh, there's white hat in the deck. That's right. I don't love that. Don't love that at all. Nothing we can do about it, though. Snare, Gank, Kakugo, Longevity. That is our hand. We're shuffling Ganked, Snare into R&D, and we're running HQ? Oh, we're going for the win. That's super risky. Because if he doesn't win here, then I win. Ganked. Yes. Okay, so it's a 50-50. The game has come down to a 50-50. Running HQ. This is it. There's a 50-50 chance. Because of the R&D top deck means that he's going to go for longevity. There's a 50-50. Let's just type it in. And we're going to wait a second. And then we're going to say our prayers. Okay, you know what? We're going to fire this Spin Doctor first, because this is very important. Let's put back a Hansi review and a hedge fund. Okay. Dang. Splashing 5 imps for white hat. Spicy, yeah. Card is silly good, though, so I can see the choice. Yeah, it is silly good. Man, the 50-50. I thought they removed the hats from Jinteki. Did they actually? Oh, they did. I didn't even realize that. Right? I shuffled back. Hedge Fund, Hansi. I don't remember what cards had hats now. I'm pretty sure Send a Message had a hat. Man, yeah. Surely Rashida did. Yes. Yes, Rashida did. I know Send a Message did for sure. So, because there was like flavor text on Send a Message that said something about, but who ordered him to wear a hat or something like that was the flavor text. There you go. Phil says 2 hats on Send a Message. Phil's the hat authority. So if Phil says there's two hats, then there's two hats. No, John Koshi, you were doing good. I don't like you were on top of me for most of that. Like I couldn't do much. You got the Bagalter down. You the thing is like there it was a 3 out of 26 at the time. There was a 3 out of 26 to steal an agenda out of R&D, and oh, but I guess you were quite lucky that it was send a message, because the other two agendas were oboe, and if you had found oboe, then you wouldn't have stolen it because you didn't have enough cards, right? Because you had 3 cards in hand. But then the thing is, like the game, if you accessed oboe or if you accessed any card in the deck other than send a message, then you would play white hat. White hat would trigger, and then you would shuffle the longevity back in the deck, and that just delays me for however long it takes me to find longevity or Gene Splicer, because then I would spin back the Gene Splicer to try to get my last point. And then it becomes like it gives you so much time. My remote was very safe though, because I had Thimble Rig there, so you can't Nexus the Thimble Rig because I just move it down. So you have to find your Kogi Breaker. But then the thing is, like the second you find your Kogi Breaker, I have absolutely nothing. Pulling agendas off the top of R&D is pure skill at 100%. Alec, good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon. It was in hand. I had a Mina in hand. Oh, okay. Yeah, so like the fact that, because you ran last click for 50-50, and if you access the Kakugo instead of the longevity, I jam the longevity and I score it, because you don't have enough money to install a Mina and like break this Thimble Rig 3 times. So the fact that the game came down to a 50-50 was the best that I could have hoped for in that situation. Like, yeah, the game coming down to 50-50 was absolute best I could have hoped for. Would it not have been better to push longevity rather than the oboe the previous turn? It could be. The thing is, if I score the longevity first and then I jam the oboe, then your opponent knows that it's game point. Whereas if you score the oboe first and then you install longevity and you don't pre-advance it, then your opponent, like it could be Rashida, or well, in this case it can't be, but it could be like a lot of other things. So your opponent doesn't necessarily play as if it's game point. I guess longevity would be able to shuffle back cards into R&D to dilute it. But then we'd still have to jam a 5-3. The issue is we were so far, like we weren't necessarily behind. We were just like the deck we were playing against fights this Jinteki deck really well. So this runner had all the answers to whatever we could throw, unless we, Mwanza many snares. But aside from some kind of trap miracle, our score plan doesn't really work because our ice is just bad. So what that means is if we score the longevity, we'll go to 5 points, but then we're going to have an absolute nightmare trying to score a 5-3 afterwards. Because you have to install double advance, and then they know they need to run. And of course, like you could look for misplays, like ending a turn with less than 5 cards in hand. Hey, well, when are you arriving in New West? I'm in Vancouver. He's not ever going to live that down, is he? Bluffing out the longevity as an oboe first might have been a neat line. Oh, okay. But you still run into the issue of having to score the last agenda. Because I see, if this is longevity serum, I don't see how we score and win. Like, we have to pray for a misplay. Which is fine. But if this is a longevity serum and we're at 5 points, I don't see how we win. Whereas if we're at 6 points, then we could install longevity without pre-advancing. Or we could try to score Gene Splicer. Yeah, that's how I see it there. Anyways, Let's move on. Pretty much not was seriously asking when you'll be in town though. End of August. The earliest day I'll be in town is August 24th. August 24th is the earliest day. Because August 24th is the earliest day that I might get into residency early. I'm supposed to get into residency September 1st, but there might be I should be able to get in a bit earlier, but we don't know how much earlier, but the 24th is the earliest. Oh yeah, pray for a misplay. Also good line. Yes, yes, yes. Pray for a misplay. You know what? Sometimes that's all you've got. So you just got to go for it, and you if the only line left in the game is hope my opponent plays this incorrectly, then that's the line you got to go for. And sometimes it's what happens. Okay, I'm going to switch our decks now. So I'm just going to switch the deck on, or actually here, how about this? I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to talk about the deck first. So I'm going to play a bit more like standard Egg Infusion Glacier and see if this feels better. Because I think in my mind, this is a bit more consistent econ. You've got Sandbox, you've got Maryland Campaign, and you've got Celebrity Gift and Hedge Fund. And I don't, like, some people might think Maryland Campaign seems weird, but it actually fits really nicely in this deck. Because I can divert power to derez it, and you get more money. You can set up your Vlad grid, because what you really want is you want Daily Quest. And you sit on Daily Quest and set up Vlad grid, set up Biovault. But if you have Maryland Campaign, you can just overwrite your Maryland and it'll come back. And also, if we could have Daily Quest, we would, but we don't have the influence because Vlad grid costs 4 influence. I like Regolith and Egg Infusion, so same idea. Yeah, Regolith is good too. It just takes time, and I kind of like things that kind of drip for you while you do other stuff, because there are other things you need to do, like set up Vlad grid, set up your ice. Medical residency, it's for law school. I assume you're asking for why I'm going to Vancouver. I'm going to Vancouver for law school. I'm joining Eric at UBC. Okay, so I'm gonna open this on my deck builder. I'm gonna make it smaller. And I think this list is already in here somewhere. I think I put in a second anemone. I cut the DNA tracker. Is the Congen still in? No. Oh yeah, it is. The Congen's still in. And I think that's the only changes. Macrophage, magnet. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Let's try this. I don't know if you guys saw, but I played a bit of it too. It's 6 and 2. I played a bit of this maybe like a month and a half ago. Back when I was just like throwing decks around and trying new things. But I wanted to look at some Jinteki Glacier today. Also, oh, you mentioned residency, or maybe I misheard. I used to be a medical resident, so figured I'd commiserate / wish you luck. Residency as in I'm living in on-campus residence for law school. Okay, I'm going to remove this for a second, just to show... There was a Palana deck that did well at... I think it was played by Motion Blur. Where is it? It's not here. We might have to go to always be running. Let's see if we have a game. We don't. Okay, this is good. Results.
this. UKGE. Motion blur. Costa-Palana. Yeah, this one. This did well in Swiss. And it's just like a standard Jinteki Glacier. So, I mean, what is it? It's 3 o'clock right now. So I might like play a game or two of like the Egg Infusion, and if it doesn't feel quite right, I might come and try this Palana. Oh, we got Gronkov. Okay, let's go back to the game, and we might look at that Palana in a second. Okay, we're against Steve. We don't like this hand, so we'll get rid of it. We don't like that hand either. It's kind of better-ish. Zahya, UBC is kind of fairly set apart distance-wise from the rest of Vancouver. It's its own little town, essentially, with stores, a hospital, etc. Ooh, a hedge fund. A hedge fund is good. A hedge fund is very good. Okay, let's just ice up HQ, and we'll put the Kanjin on R&D. We'll probably put the mind game on a remote. Actually, we might put mind game on archives. We'll see. Divert Power and Egg. You've been talking to Agasha? No! Does Agasha play Divert Power and Egg? I've been liking it. Ooh, a Chiashi. Okay. I think I'm happy drawing again. Ooh, a hedge fund. Shoot. How greedy are we? Pretty greedy. Pretty greedy. We're going to ice archives because I don't want to show the ice. So instead of playing the hedge fund, we're going to ice archives, and then we're going to celebrity gift and show the hedge fund. This is greedy because if he goes boomerang doof, then we won't have enough money for the hedge fund. Do we want to flip Kanjin? No, because it doesn't do anything. But we'll think about it. And then we're also against Steve, so we have to like really beef up HQ here. Binning the paperclip. So we might like hedge fund Chiashi HQ. And then we'll... Yeah. Let's draw. Next turn we can celebrity gift with the Spin Doctor. I'm being like kind of greedy, but I think we have to because we're giving up too much information. Bravado R&D. Fine. He found a weakness. And that's bad, but it's fine. Ooh, another Spin Doctor. Beautiful. So I'm going to play the gift. And then we install the Spin Doctor and res it. And then pitch a card. And we'll probably just like pitch the oboe. This seems fine. What's the remote ice? Oh, like the just remote ice in general? Well, like the usual... it's like flexible. So you want to get a Kakugo on there. You want to get it maybe like a Kakugo Anansi is probably good enough. Draw, Anacam, sure gamble, pad tap. Fine. So we'll go trash, pad tap. Ooh, we have divert power. That's cute. Divert power is super cute. How much are we just chilling? Do you think Gronkov plays... Do you think he plays Sneak Door? Because if he doesn't, we should just put the Anemone on HQ. I think we're going to. It's not amazing. Okay, next turn. Yeah, we're not scoring for a while. That's how you play against Crim. You don't want to score too soon, because if you push a remote too early, then they're just gonna hurt you. So you have to turtle up and play play the matchup this way. When you play against Crim, especially with Turtle, you have to play this way. And against Steve, you have to protect your HQ away from Steve triggers. It's super, super important. Magnets, good for the remote. Let's... Dang, I could Spin Doctor. I'm not sure, though. Because the Congen's blank. If he runs R&D and, like, realizes the like, I'm still not rezzing the Congen, then he might just, like, farm it for counters, which is an issue. That is an issue. This kind of sucks. This really sucks. Because I have to put this on R&D now. Yeah, this really sucks. We could take a risk there and not... Like, we would love the Magnet to go on a remote. But... Wow. Checkmate. I think we might be able to weather through this. Let's see. I need ice. The Anemone is not ice. If I install Biovault and then divert power, I can res Chiashi. That's not even that good. I might do it anyways. Because this saves me 6, so I have to pay 6, 7, 8. I have to pay $8 to res this Chiashi. But what it does is it lets me re-res my Spin Doctor, so it lets me draw cards. And I think I have to go for that line. If I had an Anansi here, that'd be beautiful, but we don't. Okay, we'll go for it. Because if he runs HQ, we're going to flip the Chiashi with real money anyways. So we have to go for this. So let's res. Let's divert. Choose a card to res. This one. Okay, so then we re-res the Spin Doctor. And then we just like put a Mind Game there. This is fine. That sucks. We're not gonna do anything. Yeah, it was a misplay to leave that there, but this is fine. Pay 4 for Mind Game? Sure. We kind of need the divert back, don't we? We also need money. Not great. Not great. Installing turning wheel. So the magnet's an issue. The Kakugo can go in the remote. Our servers are kind of weak. HQ's good, which is the most important part. But the problem is, like, he's just gonna start turning wheel bouncing, so we have to go. And the turtle counter helps a lot. So the falsified misplay was huge. I want to take 2. Let's put the Biovault in. I don't know about this. The clip is in the bin, but it's not really a matter of... It's a matter of credits. Are we guessing upgrade? Yeah. If he wants to play the third falsified, I'll let him. So I'm not going to res. Because if he plays the third falsified, then we don't have a way of getting turtle counters anymore. Aside from like deuces, which I imagine there's also 3. Do res magnet. Conjun's pretty good. We won't res magnet. Okay, let's go. We're gonna do a Conjun side game. I think we actually, like, if this fires, this is huge, right? We'll roll a d6 for no reason. The die result's 3, so that means we should bid 1. What's he gonna do? I'm good at side games, right? I feel like I bid 2. I don't think he bid 2. 3 is 1 because 1 and 2 is 0, 2 and 3 is 1, and 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 is 2. We're gonna bid 2. Nice. All right, let's hit him with the Chiashi. Miss Bones, Polop, Mad Dash, Dirty Laundry. Okay. Polop is good to get rid of. So this Kakugo just ends the run? Wait. You forgot I was Egg Infusion. Oh, actually, he didn't forget. Actually, he still forgot we're Egg Infusion. Okay, nobody tell him we're Egg Infusion. Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet, okay? We're not Egg Infusion. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Do not tell him. Do I take the scoring window? I think we do, right? Nobody tell him we're Egg Infusion. Anemone is a kill, but also we just boop to the Chiashi, and that was also a kill. Wow, we're actually running? We're not respecting the Oboe score? I guess he's seen the Nisei, so this play was kind of in the open. If I res, I deal net damage. This is sad. This is very sad. I think we'll res anyways. The problem is if we Egg Infusion him there, then he goes into the Chiashi, but then he bypasses it with the inside job. So hitting a deuces is really good. It's a good play. Is the AI text implemented already? Yeah, it's always been. Draw a card last click. Okay. We found an Anansi. We don't have a sandbox. If we have a sandbox, this game would be very different. I think I just have to click for 3, because that's what you do when you're against Crim and you have no money. I feel like I always had to manually trigger Chiashi. Oh, really? Oh, trash effect when using an AI to break is activated manually. I guess it is. Draw, class act. Okay. Spin Doctors, fine. So we'll just install that and take 2. I can't believe we almost won because he jacked out. He thought better because of Anemone, but he was actually just dead to Egg Infusion. Or actually, maybe he wasn't. He had 14 credits. Oh no, he wasn't. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He wasn't, but it was just really bad. But he wasn't dead. Deuce is wild to expose the Kakugo on HQ, and then we're gonna run the remote. Very good. This costs him $5 and a card to see a Spin Doctor, and he's not even gonna see it. Rashida's good. We do have hedge funds. Like, I feel like we need to shuffle back in the hedge fund and a Biovault instead of double Biovault. Double Biovault's like the power cards. How would he have broken Chiashi? With the paperclip in the bin. But the thing is, it would have costed a ton of money. We're inside jobbing HQ. Interesting. Do I res here? No, right? Surely not. It does 1 net damage. No, we don't res here. In case we like top deck a money card, we can play it, so we're not gonna res. We would also res if he had like I guess he has 2 clicks left. Accesses Rashida and trashes. Dang. Hit the Rashida. Nailed it. That sucks. Okay, we have to purge at some point now. And it might be now. I don't know if this Anansi's ever getting rezzed. The Anemones are good. We have to hold on to those, because that's probably what's going to win us the game. The Divert Power can probably go away, because the Spin Doctors are gone now, so I don't see the Divert being used, and I don't see the Thimble Rig being used. So we'll just purge and get rid of these 2 cards. Good afternoon. What is the jank of this week? The jank of this week is Egg Infusion. We played a kill Egg Infusion, or a trappy Egg Infusion earlier. It didn't do as well. And now we're playing this one, which I think is doing better, but we're against a really good player with a really good deck. So we'll see. We found the Maryland campaigns. There's 3 of them in the deck. This is the first one that's shown up. I think we just go ahead and install it. If I take credit and I trash this, then I'm left with $2. We'll just take another $1. Because if I'm left with $2, I'm not threatening anything in the remote. But here I'm actually like threatening Longevity Serum-ish. So we might come and check this. Bravado's the remote. Bravado's HQ. Whoa, what? Yeah, okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, we're undoing the whole turn. Okay. It was bad math indeed. But here's the thing. This is why locking down HQ is so important against Steve, because Steves will still try to run HQ. even though they really shouldn't, but they will still try. Because it just feels bad, right? Like if you play an ID and your ID does nothing all game, it's just awful. So like everybody will always like try to make it work, but sometimes you just have to give it up. But there's like very few players who prioritize like super icing HQ like I do. All right, let's res the Maryland. We got a hedge fund. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so we can play the hedge fund. We can trash the pad tap. And I think we can like put something on the remote. We can put a Nancy on the remote. Mind Game's actually been the most annoying card. So we're actually in a good spot here. Well, we're not in a good spot. We're in an okay spot. It's only okay. Could a super fast advanced egg infusion be possible? You could try. Mind Game is a hilarious counter to Amina. Yeah, exactly. And it's so good. Like you have to break it because you play a side game, and if you lose the side game, then you just go and like run the Chiashi now. So you just have to break it. It's so good. I think we just click for credits here. HQ is about to be run, and we just hope that the sandbox gets missed. We can't ice HQ, because the second we ice HQ, we turn off everything. So we just have to bank on the Chiashi holding strong. Yeah, so I'm just going to click for 3. And then here, I think he's going to run HQ. Hopefully that gives us a little bit of a window to jam. Where if they forced you to armor up heavily, that's still good for them though. Yeah, it is. It is. Mind Game sets 5 credit, cost 5 credits for Master. Ooh, we're actually installing the clip. Why did we boomerang it? Did we forget about the AI text on Chiashi? That's probably what happened. We could res Kakugo. We actually probably just bounce them to archives. How many doofs are in the bin? None. So we still have 2 doofs in play. I think we have to bounce them. Come to archives. Okay. We can score next turn now. And then he's gonna doof. This is why the thimble rig is kind of good, because you can like thimble rig down the server. But this is fine. So let's overinstall the Maryland, shuffle, advance, and I think we'll throw the vault in there just to make it look like we have something. Also, it kind of protects the vault. Do we boop him here? Yeah. Boomerang to set up for a later turn to save credits on an HQ run. I think what happened is he boomeranged the Chiashi, planning to run and like take net damage this turn. But then after boomerang the Chiashi, he realized that the Amakua being installed on the board triggers Chiashi's top tech still. So that's why he ended up running and installing the paperclip, and he didn't ask for a take back on the boomerang because a turn had already passed. This Anansi fires. Yeah, it's fire Anansi. Let's go. Celebrity Gift is good. Oboe can go away. He's going to continue here. So So we have to be ready for, like, we have to expect that we're losing the sandbox. If it's funny, if the boomerang wasn't on the Chiashi, then we could boop to the Chiashi and then have the Chiashi fire, and that probably like saves our agenda as well. Kugo Anansi Maryland campaign. So we want to draw the Maryland, and we want the gift to be on top. Or probably the other way around, actually. No, not the other way around. Okay, so Kakugo, Anansi, gift, Maryland. Say done, draw the Maryland. Class Act Daily Cast Citadel. This is getting really close because the oboes are almost safe. But he is going to continue the run. If this is ganked, then we would win. But it's not ganked, unfortunately. Oh, also, ditching the Thimble Rig might have been really wrong, because we can like move face down ice into the innermost of this server. Yeah, ditching the Thimble Rig might have been very wrong. The Bile Vault lives, that's oh, actually it doesn't, never mind. We got bones. $10, 4 cards. Credit, install Maryland. Anemones could finish off the game. That's why we've been holding them the whole time. Boomerang to set up for a later turn. Oh yeah, sorry, I already read that. Draw a card, take $2. Res the Maryland. Start turn. We've already shown the anemones, so it's kind of okay. I wonder if he goes for HQ runs here. He might. He might. I think I play safe. We're gonna ice HQ. Because if I gift, then he might just like come run and try to like 1 and 5 the oboe with the turning wheel. So we're gonna play safe. He's just gonna bounce for turning wheels here. Unless he's not. Oh. What? Why? So I can pay $1 to make him run the Chiashi? Make him run the Anansi? Okay, he's gonna bid. Oh, wow. No way. No way. There's no way that just happened. There's actually no way that just happened. Okay, let's go to the Chiashi. We're paying 7. Nice. He tried to outbrain me. What happened there was, if I spend $1, then I can't res anemone anymore. So that's why I'm highly incentivized to spend 0. So in my mind, because I'm highly incentivized to spend 0, he should spend 0. So if I want a piece of ice to fire, I should spend 1. And he understood that I would want a piece of ice to fire and it's worth the $1. So I paid, so I would, so he expected me to pay the 1 and didn't expect me to pay the 0. So that like high, like big backfire. Let's res this. Non-C can go. Dirty Laundry Diversion. Nice. Also, we have to res this because we protect the oboe. This is getting really close. Oboe's safe. And he's at 2 agendas. And I only have oboe as the 3-pointer. We're picking up pad taps. If he installs pad taps, that's a mistake. Okay. Yeah, I think that's wrong. Like you want HP more than you want the card. Because I'm very happy just clicking for dollars and hitting the pad tap. Yeah. Next card is Anansi. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's an Oboe on top. But Oboe's safe. Oboe on top of R&D. Oboe's next card. Anansi and then Oboe. Why not overwrite the R&D ice with Anemone? I could. Well, we need to find where he's going to run first. So that's why I've been holding on to them and not installing them too quickly. Oh, I thought Anansi was on top. What happened? Oh, Anansi was in hand. Huh. It's fine. Let's gift. The Kanjin's doing well. The Kanjin's doing really well. I think we just take another dollar. Yeah, we pitched Anansi to enemy. That was my mistake. I thought the Anansi was still on top, but it wasn't. Okay, we're just bouncing for turning wheel counters, right? Wrong? No way. Why are we hitting? This is so good for me. This is unbelievably good for me. I'm spending $2. Let's send you into the Chiashi again. This Kanjin has been insanity. R&D's a fresh card. R&D's 3 fresh cards. Nisei. Okay. We could be in trouble. Maryland to shuffle. Yeah, let's do it. Hedge fund. There is a diversion left. But I think we just go. I could hedge fund and like mind game R&D. Just so I stop turning wheel. Because I think he's going to turning wheel bounce. So yeah, okay, we're going to hedge fund. And we're going to like... We could anemone R&D. Mind game R&D. Let's anemone R&D. Because I think that's where he's going. We got to be careful, right? Because if we install the anemone somewhere and he doesn't run that server anymore, then that's really bad. This is such a good game. If I put the mind game, it's more about tax. If I put the anemone, then he might try to run it. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, so he's going to run it. So we're going to res it, and we're going to pitch the mind game now. And then he bounces. And then now we can replace the anemone with Kakugo, and he can't run R&D anymore. So he would have to come into HQ, get a hit point, and then run R&D. Oh, he's coming into HQ now. Okay. That's interesting. Because he's scared of double Kakugo. It's a good thing to be scared about. This should just be a hit point. If it's anything that he wants to use, I'll give it to him. Kakugo on top of anemone. Eventually, yeah. Eventually, for sure. Bravado, sure. Sandbox. Okay, let's just try to score this. Install double advance. There's two pointers left in the deck. And he can't go for it this turn, so we're just going to install double advance. Because he doesn't have enough money to... Because he'll die to Kanjin, or he'll die to Anansi. So he's going to turning wheel shortcut, because it costs $2 to break, and he gets $2 from the Bagalter. And Rashida's an excellent draw. So we'll score, and we'll install. Jams. Yes. Okay. Can we draw a Kakugo? If we can, we double Kakugo R&D. No Kakugo. Biovault, though. Biovault's really good. Also, Sandbox is really good. Install double advance gets us where? Install double advance, and maybe we install single advance and Kakugo R&D. Or we might Biovault. I don't know. Biovault might take too long. Because Biovault stops Turning Wheel, kind of. But it gives them turns to click for credits, which I don't think actually works out in our favor. But Biovault's safer. Okay, let's go for Biovault. Exactly, yeah. It's unsafe to jam Sandbox this turn. The thing is, it is unsafe, but it's like a risk that might be worth taking, because if he calls our bluff and runs and it's actually Oboe, then he has to spend 5, lose a card on Kakugo, which is huge, because if he loses a card on Kakugo, that means he has to run back into HQ to get another card. But he might call our bluff here. No, he's going remote. Okay. If he uses all his turning wheel counters, we'll bounce him. We'll spend 1. Putting on an absolute side game clinic. Oh my goodness. Okay, and we'll kick him out here. You can take the... if you want. I'm giving him the extra bravado credit because he didn't continue. He should have continued the run and then used the turning wheels. Okay, so Sandbox is now safe to jam. So go like install advance. Yeah. So Sandbox advance. Okay, some of these messages are late because I didn't notice them. We should just score it before he turning wheel digs us. 100%. But the thing, like Solomir was right there, is like Sandbox wasn't safe to jam last turn. This turn we're gonna Sandbox double advance, and he should take another turn bouncing. Oh, he's running now. I was expecting him to take another turn bouncing. Dang. Advance score, I go to 8. Install Kakugo, I go to 7. So I have to spend 0. Spend 1? Because I think he's going to spend 0. We'll spend 1. Alright. This is a Sandbox, so there's only one agenda in the deck. There's 1 out of 11, and he's accessing 3 cards. 1 in 11, accessing 3. Very good. Okay, so here we score this, and I'm not gonna install the Kakugo yet. Oh, I could install a Nancy. We do install a Nancy. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We install a Nancy. This messes up the math so much. I think we win now. So we need $3 to score Oboe, $8 to Resonancy, so we have $1 to play the Kanjin side game. This Kanjin has been so good this game. I know. It's been insane. Putting an absolute side game clinic. That's what's going on. It's so good. Okay, so we're coming into hand. We're probably not turning wheeling, because I've been scoring everything I draw that's not Oboe, so I highly doubt he'll turning wheel. But he might, because he might recognize that he's not getting into R&D. But he won't. It doesn't matter. I think I just win next turn. And I was talking about this earlier, but against Krim, especially like against somebody who's not going to miss opportunities that you give them, you just have to. You just have to like protect when you're playing a deck like this. At least, like if you're playing CTM or whatever, like it's not an option. But with you can't, if you try to push too early, if you try to push a remote too early, then it just, you're trying to protect the remote, you're trying to protect against Doof, they're going to go charge up Turtle on Archives and R&D, and you're just trying to protect way too much. So like something like this is what you got to go for, and then a Nancy kills him. Oh, okay. I feel like he spent way more on Kanjin than he needed to. Like, you mean on the side games? Or on, like, breaking ice that the Kanjin was firing off of? Yeah, I don't think there's an out here anymore. Checking Archives is the out. It's a good out. Yeah. GG. Wow. That was a game. That was an insane game. One. How far down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 5 as of now. Yeah, there's only one agenda left. The oboes sticking it out. Holding the anemones all game. Because, like, usually you want to put an anemone on HQ, but in this game, we put a Chiashi on HQ, and we didn't want to install more ice on HQ. Okay, he left, that's fine. Yeah, usually you want to put an anemone on HQ, but because we had a Chiashi there, it was bad to put another ice up, because we wanted Chiashi to be on the outermost so that we could use Egg Infusion and use Mind Game to bounce them, even though like Mind Game you can jack out. But we still wanted Chiashi to be outermost, so the anemones just stayed in hand, and when we got to the end of the game, like the 2 copies of Anemone was what able to like clear out the rest of the cards. That was sick game. Super cool endgame. Is Anemone what Egg Infusion needed to finally be good, or is it still tier 2 at most? I think it's tier 2 at most. I don't know. Like, it was good here, but it's not as clear. Like, I feel like there's a lot of other decks that are like much more explosive and are able to do a bit better. Like, to be fair, like, we won this game, but I was just holding on, I think. And I was playing to what little outs I had. The Chiashi, yeah, the Chiashi and the Kanjin. I basically had a Chiashi on HQ and a Chiashi on R&D this game. The Chiashi fell in the card that did the most work. It was so good. Or wait, here. How about let's Control F Kanjin. Pays. How do we do Psy game? Start a Psy game. Okay, let's do that. Start Psy. Can everybody see when I Control F? Oh, you can. Beautiful. Protected HQ Conjure threat. I did lose to Egg Infusion recently, but it was because they had 2 macros versus my Hive Mind Max. Feels bad. Okay, there were 5 Psy games this game. I spent 2 on the first one. I spent 0, spent 2, so I spent $4 total, $5 total, $6 total. So I spent $6, and I spent 3 to res Kanjin. I spent $6, 3 to res Kanjin. So I spent $9 on the Kanjin to basically have a Chiashi. But at the same time, that math doesn't work if you lose the side game. How much did he spend? He spent $1 twice. He spent $1 twice. So he spent $2. You won all side games, I believe. Yes. Yes. You just gotta win your side games. And then Kanjin's as good as a Chiashi. As long as you have a Chiashi. Okay, let's play that again. That was the first game with this deck. A couple notes there. We didn't draw Maryland until really late. And we kind of had to use our spin doctors and divert powers to just kind of like get ourselves out of flood. Because we had like a bunch of agendas. We needed more ice. We needed more money. 9 credits Chiashi. Blue Sun says those are rookie numbers. I love that. Value-wise, it's hard to evaluate the deterrent. Them avoiding Kanjin. I miss Blue Sun too. I do miss Blue Sun too. Blue Sun's a good ID. Blue Sun's a good punitive ID. And I like me some punitive. Alright, give me a second. I'm getting a bit hot, so I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, so I was saying the Marylands didn't show until late, but then when they did show, they were really good. So I don't know, like they still did their work. Like if it weren't for Maryland, I wouldn't have been able to get to do as well as I did, because like the money just kind of let me not get run over, because it gave me like a couple credits to reinforce places that I needed to. It got me the Anansi res on the remote, and then it just got me the credits that I needed to score. And if it weren't for that, I would have given him a lot of turns. And it's something that you really have to watch out for in this matchup specifically against the Crim with Turning Wheel, is where you place your ice. Because the magnet that we had on HQ was a huge liability. Because if he goes and just like runs that and just gets turning wheel counters. I don't know if like he would have had a really good chance if he just ran that for turning wheel counters. So I had to get rid of that. But it was unfortunate because I had to put it up early because he had the turtle down and the congen was blank because I didn't have any ice resed. So I had to put the magnet on R&D. I think, right? It's hard to check this now, but I'm pretty sure we divert powered after. When did I install ice on R&D? Install card server 2. Yeah. That was the order. I put the ice on R&D and then I divert powered the Chiashi. Because if I had flipped the Chiashi already, then I don't need to put the magnet on R&D. And then I can go on the remote. And then potentially we have like something at the bottom of the remote to egg infusion bounce. But we didn't. Since we are playing Red right now, thoughts on Grinder? Quite a few people seem to think it's good, and I hate that they might be right. I try to always have record gameplay on when streaming. Really nice to be able to review games from time to time. Yeah, that's true. I can always like go back to my like on YouTube at least, and rewatch it. Usually when I'm testing. And when I'm playing testing games with specific people, like not just open testing, then I'll always record. Thoughts on Grinder? Grinder's decent. I think Grinder's probably quite good. You don't have PE. But I don't know. There's like a lot of different ways to play Grinder, so you have to pick the right one. Because I don't know what you've been seeing. Quite a few people seem to think it's good, is what you said. Depending on what you've been seeing, because I think like some people will play like big ice. There's just like a lot of different ways you can go with it. Right. You can play like Urtica ciphers. You can play like the news teams, which is really mean. Can you check if the Chiashi AI text triggered? I'm not sure there was a mill. I can check the VOD later, I guess. It was never relevant on us. The Amakua was trashed every time once the Chiashi started getting broken, the Amakua was not on the board anymore. So it unfortunately did not show us whether or not it triggered. Wow, we just mulliganed into like another 5-point hand. This is what happens when you play Egg Infusion, hey? Sorry, I know there's a couple comments in the chat. I'm just gonna start the game first, and I'll come back to it. Celebrity gift. Wait, we have always be running. Ooh. YOLO. Anansi HQ? Yeah. It's I think Grinder's an interesting corp to run against as long as you realize it's Grinder early enough and change up your gameplay. I definitely agree with that. I think Grinder's an interesting corp to play against. It's been mostly 54 card Palana. Haven't seen news teams yet. Sounds super rude, but what do they do if you end up with tags just trashing resources? Onion, you can play a high profile target. Sure gamble, smartware, hit smartware, run R&D. Wait. I was like, does ABR say run or run first click? I was like, I'm pretty sure it says run first click, but they stole an agenda, so it didn't matter. It would have mattered heavily if the top card was trashable. Would have mattered a lot, a lot. Wow. If they just ran twice, they would have stolen 4 points. Jeez. What is my deck doing to me today? Um, 54 card Polana. Whenever I see 54, I don't know. Just wondering what the agenda suite would be. What does ABR suggest here? I haven't seen it in a long time. I have no idea. We will find out. I'm on the same boat. I have no idea what it suggests. But it probably suggests I can find another Anansi or two and completely take advantage of the fact that there's ABR on the board. But it kind of, like, you probably play independent thinking. Whoa. We're putting Adjusted Matrix on a fixed strength breaker. That doesn't seem amazing. What is going on? This is like JNet telling me I shouldn't play Jinteki ever. Jinteki Glacier. It's one less click than using ABR. Only if it's 3 strength or less. What is going on? What is this? Am I jamming a sandbox? Okay, we'll play it slow. R&D, Maryland, flat grid. The other play was install Advanced Sandbox, install Kakugo, and then we pitch the Vlad grid, I guess. Oh, wait, are we just dead? No, we're not. Oh, wait. No, we are. We're just dead. Okay, this was odd, but I'm pretty sure we're just dead. You forgot to turn your JNet mode from Rush to Glacier. Huh? Oh. So the mimic, the thing you attach matrix to needs to match strength still. I've never seen this prompt before. Continue, I guess. Oh. Fortunately, something interface. Yes, I can see why you'd make that mistake. Since the matrix attaches to an icebreaker, it gives the icebreaker an ability, but it still needs to be at strength. Yeah, but usually it's good on big strength breakers. Something that starts with a lot. I don't actually know what an example of that is. What is an example of an icebreaker that starts with a lot of strength? It's causing flood. Yes, lots of flood. Wait, if I put Adjusted Matrix on Akusa Master Driver, can I trigger its ability by spending clicks instead of 2 cards per sub? Yeah, sure you can. Oh. Hunger. If you put on that, then you can break stuff. But also don't face check a Nazi. Yeah, if you put Adjusted Matrix on stuff, you can use Adjusted Matrix to break things and then trigger the ability. To come back to 54 card Polana, the only thing 50 cards really tells me is that they definitely are on Stainhook, House of Knives, and Shipment. Does it? Why does it need to be 54 to do that? Is Duzek's gone? Yes, Duzek's is gone. The 49 card variants are sometimes not on that, instead being a bit more fair. Oh, okay. But those are really more just Glacier. Yeah. I mean, this is not Grinder at all, but there's... I was going to look at this. But that didn't really count as a game, so I'm going to try the Egg Infusion again. And then we may play like one game of La Costa-Palana. I think La Costa's probably better than Vladgrid, because Vladgrid's too slow. Or it's not too slow, but it's just slower than La Costa. You have to pay influence for it. Oh, you're saying... Oh, because 49 cards, you can't fit everything in there, so you have to play a bit bigger agendas. Yeah, I find it interesting. Like, if somebody goes, like, tries to attack cards more, then as the runner, you just have to respond to it a bit differently, and if they're trying to play a bit more like Glacier-y, then you have to use more of your cards to gain a bit more tempo yourself, so you can actually go and contest scores. I understand what you're saying, but my max brain doesn't compute. I assume, or oh no, because was it you who said you were playing Hive Mind Max against something? Against against macrophages and I assume Sandbox. But yeah, if you were playing Hive Mind Max, yeah, I've been a Hive Mind Max recently. Yeah, if you're playing against like a grindery deck, it's kind of just like, did you find your rebirth in the top 5 cards? No? Okay. As Hive Mind, as 45 card max. Analyze Chris coming in and being a troll. I assume this was legit, but we'll call it a troll anyways. Yeah, as Hive Mind Max, because you have 45 cards, so you just have to like find your rebirth in your opening hand. But if you're playing like Big Max, then you can find it a little bit later, but you still need to find it. This is a great hand, by the way. Okay, we're against Smoke. We're against 41 card Smoke. And how hard do we want to jam a Sandbox? The answer could be hard, so hard, like we wanna save the Celebrity Gift. Smoke can really hurt us, so we might need to go for that. No, let's play safe. In tournaments, you can possibly slow play the grinders with Hive Mind Max. If you're playing Clout, that is. Oh, okay. That's fair. But you gotta like clot it, and then you have to like run through the Kakugos to steal it as well, right? This is risky. If we like, we're banking on finding an ETR here, but if we do, then that's really good. If we don't, then this is risky. Although the other line is also risky. The other line would have been hedge fund, macrophage HQ, take $1, and then next turn we would install Anansi, install Sandbox, advance, and hope that they don't run. Which is not like a terrible play because we're against smoke and every shaper likes to set up. Ooh. Okay, I was going to play the gift there, but we found it in the run, so we're going to jam the Sandbox out next turn instead. We'll just save the gift. You always want to like stack your gifts so that you show them as little new information as possible, but I think in this case, us scoring a Sandbox earlier is worth it. You can chisel a few Kakugos. That's pretty true. I forgot about chisel. I don't know how many you've been playing against, Onion, but if you've been playing them against them enough, there's probably like if you mill your rebirth, have you been able to win those games at all? Or if you like, or is it just if you mill your rebirth, then you just lose? Because especially as a 45 card Hive Mind max, not that many. I usually just ask if they are, and then concede. Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if you don't want to play against something, then just concede it. Ooh, Magnet. I don't know if I should even. There's gonna be like a Jinteki.net terms of use thing coming out soon-ish, and one of the things that we address is if you don't like playing against a certain deck, then like, you know, there's no shame in just leaving, or like there's no shame in like wanting to concede and just not play and save myself those 30 to 40 minutes of my life. Yeah, exactly. Wonder if I could get concedes at Worlds by claiming I'm playing Grinder. We'll find out. There's only one way to find out, you know? Okay, let's risk Kakugo. He has to pay 6 for paper. Oh, this is firing. Nice. Why is this firing? Were we not ready to break in here? I guess we die to Anemone if we break in. Run HQ. There's an Anansi on HQ. If we make them break Anansi, I'd rather score, so we're not going to res. I'd rather score. And also... Oh, what? We're popping the SMC anyways? To install Afterimage anyways? Okay. Interesting. Why did we do that? Oh, we did it in case Taka... We did it in case we stole an agenda out of HQ. Because if we steal an agenda out of HQ, then Taka goes to 3. Okay. See, these are some like early indications that you're playing against a good player. Because the fact that he did that means that he thought about it. Like, he thought about, if I steal an agenda here, Taka goes to 3. I don't want Taka to go to 3, so I'm going to pop the SMC. Okay, so you don't want to bypass Anansi, so you have to spend $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, and this is just worth it, so let's res. Playing a game you have less than 10% win chance from the get-go for half an hour is just terrible for my mental. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if you think like there's no... If you don't see value in playing the game, then just don't play the game. 100%. Solomir, so you are building a 54 card Jinteki Glacier? so that we can get concedes at Worlds. You know what? If there's a thing you can do to get concedes at Worlds, you do the thing. It's like getting a bye, except you don't have to win a Nationals. Just think about that. You get a bye. You just have to bring a certain deck, and you get a bye, and you don't even need to win a Nationals. That's insane. Insane. Oh my goodness, we drew an Issei. Oh, I was gonna gift. I don't want to gift now. Dang, why we gotta do this to me? Alright, let's put the Nisei in the remote. And then next turn we'll gift and advance it. This is like not a great turn, but that's what we gotta do, I think. They did it for Netmarker draw too. Oh yeah, that's fair, because you get a Netmarker trigger. Somewhere in Nisei, the collusion sirens just went off. Because you can get a Worlds buy by not winning a tournament for it. I was talking to my friends, and they were like, they should make it so that nationals they should make it so that Worlds buys stack. So if you win one nationals, you get a round 1 buy, and you win another nationals, you get a round 2 buy. And then we were like, okay, so then how many buys, how many national level events do you need to win before you can go to Worlds, not play a single game, and win the tournament? Because we were like, if somebody can do that, and they gather that many buys, and they just bring a bunch of buys to Worlds, and they win without playing, I wouldn't be upset. Okay, so I can't believe they're actually running here. I'm very surprised, because a single card in the remote is not a threat. I guess we'll res. Oh, we don't have to res. Okay, so this math is like super weird. $1, $2 to boost. Like, I'm pretty sure it's better to just bounce them into the Anansi. And then from there, they can't break barriers next turn. So we can just score. This sucks. Yeah, okay. We'll bounce them into the Anansi on HQ. Or unless we bounce them into Archives. Boost. Boost. They do need to spend 2 stealth credits. So let's put them into HQ. Wasn't there that Steve write-up a while ago where they barely played the deck because they just had buy, sweep, sweep, then ID into top cut? Yeah, I mean, like, buy, double sweep, and then ID is, like, decently common. Big brain is to 2-for-1 early rounds and roll corp every time. Ah, and then you don't have to play a runner at all. And then you just need to, like, oh my goodness, I drew another agenda. What the heck? So is this, like, credit hedge fund advance? So I don't gift? And then in the cut, you just have to DQ your opponents when you play runner. So you'll start off as corp because you're going to be top seed, obviously. So you pick corp as your first side, and then let's say it's a cut to 8. So you pick corp as your first side, and then you're down to 4 players, and then you just have to roll corp one of the times because you play winners semis and then winners finals. So one of those games you're going to play corp, and the other game you're going to play runner. So you just got to win your corp game, and you got to DQ your opponent when you're running, so you don't have to play your runner deck. And then in the finals you can just play corp again, and then you just win with just playing corp. Damn, you got some sticky agendas today. Yeah. You do realize that this is basically just a massive ad for single-sided Swiss. I am a fan of single-sided Swiss. I am a fan of single-sided Swiss. A big fan of single-sided Swiss. Because I think 2-for-1s... I think IDs are fine. Because in single-sided Swiss, there is still IDs. In single-sided Swiss, there's still IDs. But do I get rid of this magnet? We kind of need it, right? The Biovault. The Biovault's also kind of needed, but I also kind of need the celebrity gift. Sticky. Let's get rid of the Biovault. I thought this was a sandbox for a second. I might not have scored that. I'm a big fan of single-sided Swiss because I think IDs are totally fine. Because if you're both like doing well and you just intentionally draw, that's fine. But 2-for-1s are like highly skew standings up top, and I would highly support getting rid of that because it's too like if you make it so that from like a sweep, a split, or a sweep the other way, and if you turn that into a like sweep going one way or the other, that's like there's way too much movement in the top. There's way too much movement at the top, and there shouldn't be that much movement. Because if you're like 4 rounds in and there's 5 rounds in the tournament before a cut, the fact that you can 2-for-1 just makes it so like so many people are not safe, and then everybody has to 2-for-1. We're running back, so we're really trying to imp something here. We'll give it to them. They have a 50-50 on agenda. They found it. They're thinking about coming back, are they? Oh, press the mouse button. Install Beth. Okay. Hear me out. I install double advance oboe. This is just game winning, right? You've no money. This is just game winning, right? This doesn't... See, the thing is, this doesn't really show me the deck either. But I don't see how our opponent steals this. Rush Egg Infusion, yes. What is it? It's turn 8. I'm gonna score out on turn 9 as an Egg Infusion. It's okay. I've used my ID once, so my ID was relevant. If I was Palana, I maybe didn't have to play a hedge fund. We've got a Simulchip, but we don't have enough cards because we're just gonna Simulchip the Penrose and break it. And we're gonna lose a card. Oh no, because we dieseled this turn, so Anacam's already triggered. So unless we have I've had worse. Oh, but we can draw with Netmarker. We can draw with Netmarker. Oh, but we can also imp it. This might have been too hasty of a play. Too hasty of a play. If I kick them out, he has to run back and recognize that Netmarker draws. And if he does, then I'm suddenly in a horrible spot. What do we think? Do we hope that my opponent doesn't realize netmarker draws? If I let this go, am I in a bad enough position that I have to go for that? We might be. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? Oh, never mind. Nope, this was wrong. The Kakugo already did the damage. I thought Kakugo hadn't damaged yet. Oh boy. They're super likely to find the marker drop. Yeah, no, this was bad. Okay, now we're just kind of hoping they don't. For some reason I thought that the Kakugo was gonna deal damage still. Okay, yeah, I think I lose now. Since they used it already. Yeah. Lost Fenris, though. Stealing it? Overclock, misdirect, Simul chip. Okay. This is not good. Rashida's good. Rashida's very good. Let's get the magnet on R&D. Punitive time. Yeah, I wish. Complete image. Yeah, the Nisei token, I just like thought that the Kakugo was gonna deal another damage for some reason. And I just like insta clicked it. Okay, let's see if we can pull out of this. If we can scare him from poking, which we might be able to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could boop into... okay, we can't res this. This is good play. Next turn we can pop the Rashida. We can... I used the Nisei token, which was so bad. So bad. Okay, start turn. What did they see? They saw a Vlad grid. Good to know. There's our Kanjin. Kanjin R&D could be okay. So it could be like hedge fund. Okay, let's gift. We'll show them the 2 Vlad grids. We'll show them the hedge fund. We're not going to show the Kanjin. We're going to show the Maryland campaign. And then we just shove the... We can either put the Maryland on R&D or the Kanjin on R&D. Let's hope R&D holds for another turn. As flies to wanton boys are we to the gods. They kill us for their sport. Soon the science will not only be able to slow down the aging of the cells, soon the science will fix the cells. What is this? I love Shaper. Thank you. This is... Phil, are you still at work? Am I still at work right now? Ooh, I missed some comments from Mela. Turns out tuning in for a moment before going to bed was a mistake. This is entirely too gripping right now. I think it's not okay that I'm rooting for Smoke, but here we are. Of course, now you're against the wall, so I get to root for you again. Yeah, it was a really bad decision to pop the Nisei. You are at work right now. Yes. Very good. Very good. I am at work. I still don't. I'm not really sure what you do. Phil, what do you do? What is the work that I am at right now? The jamming of the oboe was probably correct though. Yeah, the jamming of the oboe was probably correct, but the Nisei was definitely not. Okay, let's get better ice. Draw once. Gift again. Gift doesn't help us. Let's get the Kanjin in R&D. Let's get a thimble rig on the remote, I think. We want the thimble rig on the remote just so that we have something to boop with once we install something better on the remote. I build grandma prisons now. Ah, very good. They had to have a pretty specific combination of cards to get in there. Yeah, they had to, because they had to diesel and then have simulship. And anything else wasn't enough because paperclip cost 4 to install and they didn't have 4 to install it. Let's spend $1 because we're good at side games. You build grandma prisons. We are all standing. We are all being watched. Well, I say we are all, but mainly just me. See, but the thing is, I'm not at a grandma prison. You're just at a place that builds grandma prisons. Right? So there isn't actually prisoners. It's just a place where prisons are built. Do I res this magnet? No. We keep giving accesses on R&D, and one of these is going to be an agenda. And the fact that I said that probably means this one is. But it's... I don't know. There's nothing we can do about it. That's right, I keep my hands clean. Eric Cantona speech. Really? Pays 2 to trash Spin Doctor. That's sad. Install Telework, hit Telework, play Diesel. That's interesting ordering. Yeah. That's fine. We'll let them undo. Mind Game. I do like me some Mind Game. I do like me some Mind Game. Do we want to show them everything? We don't have to, actually. So I'm going to draw here. Ooh, that's good. Getting an Anansi on R&D. Getting an Anansi on the remote, probably. So let's put the Mind Game on R&D. And then next turn we might... We'll see. We might go Gifted Anansi. We might go Gifted Anansi. We might go... Install... Advanced Vlad Grid, put the Anansi up. We probably need a bit more money. It depends. If we find an agenda, then we'll have to go a bit faster. If we don't find an agenda, then we can probably play the gift. Running R&D anyways, so let's res the Mind Game. We gotta pay 2 to break this. We gotta pay 5 to break this. 1, 2, 3. We gotta pay 4. We gotta pay 4 because we're gonna hit the Anansi. We spend 0 now because they're gonna spend 1, right? Because they realize that it costs a decent amount of money. So they're gonna spend 1 and we're gonna spend 0. Dang. I tried. I should have probably spent 2. Is the side game loss gonna cost the game? It is. It is. I mean, we were gonna lose the game anyways. GG. I don't know. I think even if we didn't pop the Nisei counter, we would still lose this game in hindsight. But it was still definitely at the wrong line. But we would have still lost. Already calculating as if Kanjin always works out. No, I think it like if we conjure them to the oh, I guess like we would conjure them, but then we would pop the magnet for the ID. If we wanted to stop the agenda steal, but then next turn like we would get the agenda, and like there's not much we can do. Like they had a really really good setup. Okay, I want to play some Palana, I think, because this deck is faster. I think the Egg Infusion's actually too slow. That is an issue. This is not what we were playing. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, this was a bit too slow. Like we never had time for Vlad Grid just because runners are like too good. So we just have to yeah, it was too slow. I don't know. The Marylands are good, but like the deck is just overall too slow for runners. And the only way that we win is if we like set up and kind of just eat away their money as they try to attack us, which is what happened against the Steve. Because what's our record here? We lost to Smoke. This doesn't count. This was our first game, and then we also lost to Az. Oh no, this was this the trap deck? This was the trap deck. So yeah, it's like a win and a loss with the trap deck, and a win and a loss with the new one. Let's see if Palana gives us a better run. Yeah, La Costa's I think just better for Jinteki Glacier. So let's see. Do this just to clear up. La Costa, Polana. I need to update. Okay, on to Polana. Let's try this out. Not sure what Egg Infusion needs to finally be better than Polana, but I really want it to be. I guess more money for Jinteki would really help. I mean, I played Polana. I played Egg Infusion at 2020 Worlds, and I chose that over Polana. You can do more with Egg Infusion. So as long as you have money, then it's better. So I played, like, what did I play? I played, like, La Costa Biovaults. Like, Thimble Rigs were really good. Fairchild 3. Fairchild 2. There's 2 Fairchild 3s in that deck. That was really good. I think it's the extra ice. Like, with just Anansi, it's not quite good enough. But that year, we had 3 Anansi and 2 Fairchild 3s, and that was what made it good enough. Okay, so Surveyor goes on a remote. Mind Game goes on HQ. And then Thimble Rig goes on R&D, I guess. Or I guess Anansi goes on R&D. This is fine. I hear Egg-Infusion is pushing hard for a new strategy called Palana rotating. Ah, that's a good strategy. You know, I think, yeah, Palana rotating is that's a very good boost for Egg-Infusion. I reckon that's going to give them the edge they need. I think Mela brings a very, very good point to this discussion. Pad tap, draw, maybe. Fine. Install, trash pad tap. So you're saying more HB ice? Got it. Just give HB more good cards and Egg-Infusion will surely get better. It just needs another piece of ice. But in that year, what is it? Fairchild 3 was the ice. But yeah, like it just needs a little bit of more ice. A little bit more good ice. Cause 3 Anansi, like Anansi's great, but Chiashi costs 12. It's too much. It costs 7 for Paperclip to break. If you can get it rezzed and get a lot of value out of it like we did last time, then it's good. But paying 12 for the opponent paying 7 is not an amazing trade. And then there's also like, you know, there's Botulus and stuff. So that just kind of beats Chiashi. And then DNA Tracker's bad for the exact same reasons, and also it doesn't match up against Amina. Wow, this deck is super fast. Well, that's because we drew 2 Rashidas. We just score here, right? I don't think I go for gift. I think I just install this because we can. Install this because that's the agenda. And we just shove a border control on the remote. I'm 100% sure that Vlad-Grid is actually just unplayable, but people keep saying it's good. I would agree if you said it was unplayable out of faction, because it costs 4 influence and it's like hard to justify. Unplayable is a strong word. Advance, score. We will not trash anything, and let's just shuffle 2 Rashidas and a hedge fund back and put a Geofront in the remote. Doesn't Egg-Infusion get better when there's worse ice? Because at least every piece of ice just be a boop. See, but it's not it. It's better if everybody is subject to the worst ice. But if there's worst ice, then people just play other corps, which is the issue. Then they build reasonable decks with 8 to 12 wasted influence. Oh yeah, Onion. I assume you're talking about. Vlad-Grid. Is you build a reasonable deck with 8 to 12 wasted influence. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I totally see what you're saying. Advance. Pop it. Install. There's no... Oh, there's an MK. I guess we'll just protect the Anansi on R&D. Yeah, I agree with that. I really do. The Vlad-Grid in the Egg-Infusion was purely just to like test it, to try it out with like because not Egg-Infusion specifically, but Jinteki Glacier is the best place to be scoring 4-2s. It has the most impactful 4-2s, and Vlad-Grid helps you fast advance 4-2s. So in theory, it's good, but yeah, the issue is 4 influence is way too steep. Where's Mind Game? Mind Game's so good. Like, do you want to pay $6 to hippo this? No. Do you want to play a side game to then run another server, during which, if you want to jack out, you have to lose a card? No. It's so good. Just score a Jumon. Vlad feels just way too inefficient, even in faction. Can't see how you can actually fast advance something with it. We spent 0, right? Damn. Well done. I mean, like, you know, you install double advance the Vlad grid, and they have to run it. And if they have to run through ice and then pay $4 to trash the Vlad grid, like, it costs them a lot of money. So it opens a scoring window for you to just jam the agenda outright. And if they don't run it, then you can fast advance. I can see why. It's, like, really good. We're not going to res the border control. We will res the surveyor, though. It's going to get chiseled, but it's going to get chiseled with Devil Charm anyways, so... We just simulchip the chisel on our thimble rig? Really? That's interesting. Okay, I guess I won't res. Onion, I played against an Asmari who was using it to score 5-3s, and I actually found that very, like, I liked that a lot. Using it to score 5-3s. So what you do is you have Biovault in your deck as well. So you install Vladgrid, install Biovault as you're, like, sitting on your daily quest with your Yellow Glacier remote, and then you don't have to spend the time to double advance your Biovault. You just double advance the Vladgrid and install the agenda. So then if they run, you can transfer the tokens to the Biovault and pop the Biovault, and if they don't run, then you can triple advance the agenda, transfer the tokens, and score the agenda. There are flaws to it, like it does leave the remote vulnerable next turn because the Biovault's unadvanced, but they have to run through the remote to come get it. And they have to run through the remote and then pay 2 for the Biovault, pay 4 for the Vlad grid. It's a big ask. And I had trouble with it when I ran into that deck. So you just pay 8 in Resonancy, and then pay another 4 to res border control, and that should be scary enough. That's an interesting use. Yeah, it wasn't something that I thought of. And it might sound a little underwhelming, but it was actually quite effective. Wanton Destruction. Okay. We're paying 6. Are you hippoing it? No. I still feel like Biovault and NGO are all the bait advanceables those decks need. Yeah, it's not necessarily for, like, bait, though. But bait is certainly one of its uses. How did we have 4 clicks? Oh, we have a Beth on the board. I haven't really been paying attention. Okay, we lost both Voids. We lost our Gift, which is fine, but we lost the Spin Doctor, which is the most unfortunate part. Let's just fire more Rashidas. We fired 3 Rashidas this game, and we're about to get a 4th. Insanity. Absolute insanity. Let's throw the Costa in there, because why not? They're checking archives. They're playing Mining Accident. That's fine. We're about to fire Rashida number 4. Vlad works nice with seamless launch to fast advance, but it is pretty inefficient to set up and defend. I like that use as well. I wouldn't necessarily say it's not a good main game plan, but if you play a deck with Vlad Grid and seamless and you have 4-2s and 3-2s, then in theory it's decent. In theory, it's decent. Should I put Kuko on here? We're gonna put the border control and pay $3. And then we'll go to 16. We'll go to 17 when they draw 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I can't. 16, 17, 18. Um, 16, 17, 8 plus 4 is 12, 15. So we're $1 short if we put the border control in there. So we'll just take 2 credits. Maybe I'm a bit too harsh on it. Just very inexperienced with Yellow Glaciers. Yeah, like the 5-3 use case is an interesting one for Yellow Glacier. But the 4-2 fast advance case, I don't actually love, because you have to... it's very hard to build a Yellow Glacier with 4-2s. Because you have to, the agenda suite's just so difficult. And I just don't see how you make that work, right? Because you need to have 4-2s in your deck. You need to have 4-2s in your deck, but you also need to have Bologna, because otherwise you're playing GFIs, I guess. So you're basically playing 3 GFIs and 6 2-pointers, which is fine, but Bologna's really good. So the Yellow Glacier situation really pushes you towards playing 3-pointers only, which is what makes Vlad Grid a bit harder to use in faction, from a Glacier perspective at least. Because if you play it out of CTM and you're just if you play it out of CTM, I think that's a completely different discussion. I think I have a decent Vlad Seamless as Mari. Calibration testing probably a little better than Vlad for pure Glacier. Yeah, maybe. Although I also think just don't play it at all. It's good. Okay, so this is install, and then we just stack stuff on this remote, right? This anemone is not worth it anymore. I should do the math, but I'm a little lazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take $1. So we go to 12. Thinking again. Okay, so we have 16. We need $3. So we're at 13. We have 2 clicks to install ice. We have 2 clicks to install ice, so we have $13 that we can use. So that's 1, 2. We go to 11. 3, 4, 5. We go to 8. So I could install Anansi into border control, and then we can res Anansi and pop it. That's the best line, I think. So we go Anansi into border control. Because this way, if they run with too few clicks, we can double border control. But if they run with if they run with enough clicks, then we force them through double Anansi, and we just don't res the border control. And if this, we just win because they're not going to run. The agenda suite shouldn't be too hard to build. Just do all neutral agendas with off-world sandbox GFI. Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like you'd have to use GFI, and they like you wouldn't play Bologna. And then you'd have 9 agendas. But the problem is it's kind of hard to justify that being better than 6 agenda as Mari. It's just not worth it to try and score 4-2s that way. Why open yourself up to clot when you can just never advance those agendas with Seamless or La Costa? Yeah, that. You can never advance them with Seamless or La Costa, or you could just play 5-3s and just install double advance 5-3s after you've locked down your remote. It's faster, more efficient, I'd argue also less risky. I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's not that great. And this Palana seems a lot better than the Egg Infusion. Just because of the speed. Like I'm able to threaten more things faster. I'm thinking I'm gonna do this one more time. This is gonna be probably, I think this is the longest I've streamed for. Because I think we're hitting 3 hours almost. And if I play another game, we're gonna go past 3 hours. Captain Stupendous. So Captain Stupendous was somebody that like had joined after the Shut Up and Sit Down video, and they came on to GLC, and I was like on a voice call with them for, I want to say like 4 or 5 hours, and we played the system gateway decks. We discussed like they had just started. They were gonna print out. They had printed out a bunch of cards, and they were gonna teach their friend the next day, and they wanted like to walk through the game with somebody. So I showed them System Gateway. I showed them Startup, and then they like, I didn't do any deck building with them, but I like highly encouraged them to jump right into Startup and do some deck building. And I think they've like done exactly that, and they've jumped into Startup, and I've seen them around now playing a bunch of games, and it just like makes me so happy that somebody that's there and like playing a lot and is new to the game. Okay, so we're gonna gift here no matter what, and then the mind game's not good enough, so it's probably just the Thimble Rig. And then we'll try to find something else for the remote. Now that I'm thinking of it, I might be so hard on Vlad-Grid because I'm getting kind of annoyed by one remote Netrunner. Like how in Startup, the only way to win for Corpse is to build a remote and put something in it. Ah. Okay. I didn't know. I have no idea what Startup meta looks like. Diesel. Beth. Undo click. Beth. Rizeki credit. Sure. Anansi. I do like me some Anansi. I was just about to install Mind Game, install Anansi, thinking that I could score behind that because I'm Egg Infusion, but then I realized I'm not Egg Infusion. So I think we just like play slowly and get the Anansi there. We'll get a Mind Game on Archives, because Tau might be on Turtle, so we'll throw it on Archives. How many Mind Games do we have? We have 2. Diesel, Daily Cast, credit. Fine. Lacosta's good. Let's cycle our Spin Doctors. Nemini. Mm, don't love this. I guess we just hit an NGO front. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe we use too much ice on other places. Putting up simul-chip. Fine. What if we just like snuck out a Nisei Mark II there? Okay. This is fine. I'm wondering if we even if we show them the La Costa grid. Installing Bagalter and running HQ. Okay, so we'll bounce off the Thimble Rig. We do have Turtle. I'll flip this for the money. Oh, swap Thimble Rig. Very true. I think we say no. Yeah, because I want the Anemone to be on HQ, so we'll say no. Surveyor. So we'll go Ice HQ, card, Surveyor on the remote. Let's pop this. This is Kakugo. So they need to get a counter first. So I think we just jam this. I hope Borealis has some non-remote win cons for Corpse and a bit more pressure on centrals for runners. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm not sure. I don't like think about that stuff too much, but it's interesting because I'm kind of somebody who's just like, I don't have too many opinions on what I want. So just like, what are the cards? Give me the cards and I'll see what I can do with them. Moving to Archives, so they're going to get one run on Archives, and then we're just going to swap it back. I want all the things. I want to res this Anansi. Cost 5. Which is not too bad for them. Huh? Why are we running HQ now? Okay, I'd love to res a mind game. Sure. We don't res the Anemone. Just to keep the unknown, because next turn we're gonna swap the Thimble Rig with the mind game, just so that they can't charge turtle counters. So I don't want them to know what the HQ ice is. Like, I'm so confused. Are we trying to APOC, but we forgot that we spent our first click playing Gamble? Because that's what it looks like. Because why are we running Archives? We're just getting a turtle counter? That's fine, I guess. We can have a turtle counter. A sandbox would be good. Also, we're probably not on APOC because we have Bagalter. You don't put Bagalter in a Shaper deck. In an APOC Shaper deck. We could have been trying to deep dive. Discards Anakin. Okay. Swap Thimble Rig. Yeah, actually, we could swap it with the Kakugo. Or not the Kakugo, with the Surveyor. There's Kakugo. Okay, let's draw one. We'll just gift. That could have been wrong. Like, we could have, like, maybe thrown something in the remote just to try to take advantage of the remote. but I think this is fine. We might go like double Kakugo on the remote, although we should probably get a Kakugo on a central because of deep dive. Although we're probably just getting deep dived here. Also keep in mind I can Nisei the last run. So it's manageable. God, Thimble's such a lovely ice. I love Thimble Rig. It's so good. It's so good. So it's not as bad as before now, because now when you highlight it, when it asks you if you want to trigger Thimble Rig, it highlights the copy that's moving. It used to be confusing, but now I think it's actually okay. If I res this, it costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the anemone costs money. Oh no, because we have turtle. What do we think? Is the anemone gonna hit, or should we just Nisei bounce? Oh, but if we anemone, they can't steal oboe. So yeah, we just res this. Yes. I guess it's... Is it NGO front? I think it's NGO front. Because we put the Rashida in the remote. Yeah, it's NGO. Deep dive, DJ Fenris. Nice hits. Nice hits. Those are some beautiful hits. Yeah, they highlight now. So here, I'll show you at the start of the turn. When it asks if I want to move Thimble Rig, if I look at the card, it'll highlight this one specifically. Surveyor, Oboe, Anansi, Virus Suite, Sandbox, Mind Game, Longevity Serum. Jeez, those are some agendas. Thank goodness we're shuffling. What happened? We're moving that, so I'm going to move it back. So if I... oh, there we go. Yeah, if I this one, then it highlights it in blue there. So let's move that back. We'll draw a macrophage. That's actually decent. And then we'll just purge. Yeah, we'll just purge. Anemone is such a rude ice. It's very good. It's very good. It's very good for these types of shaper decks. Swap Thimble Rig. Maybe? Swap it with the Surveyor. Oh, wow. Okay. We don't need the Rashida. We don't need the Rashida. We're just gonna install this here. Install another Kakugo there. Which might be overkill. But I feel like the macrophage on a central is better. Let's keep the Kakugo. We're going to protect this. I want the sandbox. There might have been merit to single advancing as well, though. Because if we single advance, we can put the Rashida in there next turn. This pad tap has been ticking for a while. Okay. That's fine. Macrophage is kind of annoying. It probably trashes the turtle. And then... Wait, how much does this cost? 5... 6... We don't have enough money to break this. So we'll just let the macrophage through. Right? We're short on credits to breaking the Surveyor. Macro can find its way onto Central soon anyways. That's true. The one Thimble Rig. I always play 3 Thimble Rigs in my Jinteki Glaciers. Okay, $6 for tags is fine. Trade 6 for, and the run is also fine. Draw a card, end the turn. So I can absolutely go to town trashing stuff if I want. Oh. Let's get rid of this daily cast. I could also get rid of pad tap. I think I am. Let's get rid of pad tap. And then I take $1, and then we end the turn on $4, which is really rude. Instead of Beth, yeah, because we end the turn on $4. So Beth doesn't trigger. And this incentivizes them to clear tags because the Beth is on the board, and they're like, but I want to keep Beth, you know? So they might clear tags. And if they clear tags, that's good for us. If they find an agenda, that's really bad. I think Beth is still better to shoot down in the long run. That's true, but we'll probably get... If they don't clear tags, we'll just get another opportunity to shoot down Beth anyways. We're moving the Surveyor back. Does that mean we're running the remote? We are. Okay, there's lots of ways we can defend this. Lots of ways we can defend this. But Rush players don't think about the long run. Macrophage boost by 1 is one of them. Let's see. Macrophage. Oh no, resing Macrophage is good enough, actually. Yeah. Let's res Macrophage. So this fires. Turtle goes away. Which is actually not that important right here. We can remove Turtle from the game. We're popping Simulchip to install Rozeki. Sure. We can remove Clot from the game. We're not fast advancing. That's fine. And then Trace 1 is fine. So they paid 1. So he didn't realize that he actually just doesn't have enough. Remove Clot for the mind game. Yeah, he didn't realize we can just swap the Thimblerig down. Start turn. Advance this. Swap this back onto HQ. And then we just score. Oh, I can't score. Shoot. Wait. We actually just have it sit there for a turn. It might be fine. I can just take a credit and score it. Yeah, if they don't respond, I'm just going to take a credit and score it. Okay, this is fine. I thought I had an extra credit there, but I missed. I can score, but I don't get to put another thing in the remote, so it's just not worth it to score. Yeah, I misspoke. I can score, but I would have liked to double advance score and then put another sandbox in there. But since I can't do that, it's not worth scoring. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, we're just not gonna dirty laundry? Why wouldn't you, like, gain a credit and play the dirty laundry? So now we trash Beth, install sandbox. Take $1, I guess. We do lose to Oboe out of R&D, so we might need to play a bit more careful. Let's advance the Anoetic Void. Let's swap the Thimble Rig with the... Oh, I was going to swap it with the Surveyor, but we could just put a Kakugo on R&D. I'm going to put a Kakugo on R&D anyways. Install server 3. If I take a credit, I give them money. So let's, like, put an upgrade on R&D. No, they're never going to access R&D. We're just going to install CVS. This is the perfect game to play before going to bed because we are already getting our jammies on. I love it. How safe do we play here? Like, super safe, right? I'm gonna play super safe. I think we can. So I'm gonna swap this with the Surveyor, and then we Nisei token. Oh, that's not right. Okay, we're not going to Nisei token. Don't steal Oboe. Good. Okay. I hate that we're giving up these accesses, but unfortunately I don't think we have a choice. Swap Thimble Rig? Yes. So we want Thimble Rig to be... We want... yeah, let's do this. Oh my goodness. Okay, Nisei was the next card. We can take a credit. We'll just take 3. No CVS on R&D. They're running it every turn. I was kind of expecting myself to not let them in R&D again this game, which is why I didn't put it there. But I should have. I should have for sure. Are we just eating? What's happening with Macrophage? We'll swap it down. So they pay 1, and then I just boost the $5 into the Macrophage trace. This is firing, right? Oh, it's not firing. So I have to void. Well, that sucks. Sets credit to +1. What's firing? Now I'm confused. Click the button once too much. So which subs are firing? The ones that don't do anything. You gave yourself 1 cred back for a sub that you broke. Right? What am I missing something? We set credit to +1, and we paid 2 to boost the strength, which we needed to do, and we paid to break the 2 subs 1 for 1. Right? What did I miss? Okay. And then now I will void. And then next turn we go advance, score, install. Yes. This is a solid deck. The surveyors are oddly very good. But it's actually, like, I think it's attributable to the fact that there's not too much crim. So surveyor's like 2 sub high strength thing doesn't get boomeranged as often because there's not too much crim. Swap thimble rig. No need. Advance, score. Purge, gain 8. Tau can do a thing, and then I should be able to just jam this in server 3. We're laundrying the CVS. $8. Oh, I should have actually popped it to prevent him from gaining money. I don't think it matters, but I should have just popped it, actually, to be extra rude. But yeah, it doesn't matter. GG. Yep, GG. That was tough. That was a tough game for the runner. They had a couple accesses where they could have like ripped a noble off the top, but aside from that, we had that pretty locked down. There were 2 accesses. I think they got 2 R&D accesses where they could have ripped a noble off the top, and I could have been a bit more conscious about it. Oh, my thing was blocking cards. It was just the CVS, right? Yeah, it was just blocking the CVS. Okay. I assume it was okay. All right. Yeah, pretty good. It's a pretty good deck. I think it's like definitely better than Egg Infusion, or at least better than what I was playing with Egg Infusion. I need to refresh this. Yeah, the Palana's definitely better than Egg Infusion because it can play a lot faster. It might not actually be the ID though. Like it might just be the whole build of the deck is better than dropping 8 influence on Vladgrid, as we were discussing in chat. Okay, I think I'm going to call things there. This was my longest stream. Well, my longest weekly stream. I did like tournament streams where I was like going for for many hours, but yeah, this was good. We did a lot of Jinteki, and um, yeah, U.S. Nationals in a month, so there's gonna be not that many streams left till then. I think 3, because I leave on the 30th. There's gonna be 2 streams. There's gonna be a stream on the 17th, a stream on the 24th, and then I'll be gone until U.S. Nationals. So it'll be 2 more streams, and then it'll be U.S. Nationals, and then we'll chat after that. Lots of red. What color are we doing next time? I don't know. Do you have suggestions for what you want to do next time? I'm always, 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 always open for suggestions. One idea that comes to mind is Gagarin. I haven't played Gagarin at all ever since it. Well, I played it from before it was banned, but when it got banned and then it got unbanned, like, I actually never played Gagarin. Green does sound fun. Yeah, so we might play some Gagarin. We might explore the Fast Advance version, the damage version. Like, it's probably better with the Zeef protocol now than it was 7 months ago. So that might be worth exploring, taking a look at Fast Advance, and like maybe Fast Advance or maybe damage, or maybe something else. If there's something else in Gagarin that's neither of those 2 things. Did you play the Fast Advance Titan lists yet? I'm not sure which ones you're talking about, but I've played Fast Advance Titan lists. Like, this is really good. This is like the fastest like fake Titan that I think we can make right now, with Audacity, with Trickle Light. Like, this worked really well. The issue with this is that there's no run deterrence, so if your opponent knows what you're doing, they will just run, and you're really just racing them, and there isn't much else. So if they get the right accesses, they win. If they don't get the right accesses, then you Fast Advance and you win. And then there's the outfit version, which I like quite a bit better. And this version has hard-hitting news. It has just a little bit of run defense, especially with the outfit ice. Like, just when you see outfit, you kind of think twice about running into things. With Trebuchet, with 2 bulwarks, you got Mausolus because you have the tag threat. So I think this list is better than the Built to Last, even though the Built to Last is faster. But I would say that I have played them, and I think they are quite good. Have you seen pinhole threading? Any thoughts on it? I have seen pinhole threading. I think, so to address pinhole threading, when I saw the card, I was like, that card does not seem very good. That was the thought. I was like, you have to run another server, you get to access a card in a remote, but if it's an agenda, you can't steal it, I think is what it says. I don't remember the exact text, but I remember looking at it and I was like, this card does not seem very good. However, I have some people who, like, I know people who are testers, and when I told them that, they said, like, Brandon's you can't steal or trash it. Like, that seems awful. It seems awful. But Brandon the King is a tester, and when I said this to him, he's like, no, it's actually really good. So my thoughts is, like, maybe there's another card in the set that combos really well with pinhole threading, and that's why it's good. But without any more information, I don't think it's a good card. Yeah. Not sure how good the different versions are. Felt way too draw dependent when I tried them. You're talking about Fast Advance. Pinhole threading is slightly better drive-by to me. Is it? Upgrade Asset Hunter. Yeah, it seems like a Polop replacement. But drive-by was always close to playable, so a slightly better version is probably going to show up at least a bit. But I think, let me pull up the exact card text. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, here it is. Run any server if successful. Instead of breaching the attack server, access one card in the root of another server. If that card is an agenda, you cannot steal or trash it during this access. See, but the problem is drive-by trashed the card. So if you drive by an agenda, you can't steal or trash it. Same text, right? But if it was something that you can trash, drive-by trashes it, and pinhole threading says you access it, which means you still have to pay to trash it. So drive-by costs 2 clicks. Pinhole threading costs 1, but it costs $1. So let's say slight edge to pinhole threading because you'd rather pay $1 than spend a click. But you have to run a server. So if all the servers are iced, then like you're screwed. So if all the servers are iced, you're screwed. And you have to pay a bunch more money, and then it's not worth it. But then in addition to not just trashing the card like drive-by, you have to actually pay to trash it. It's better than drive-by in the sense that drive-by has to be used on a face-down card. And if you can pinhole threading something that's rezzed. So if they already have a rezzed void, but like, why did they res the void, right? It's because you ran the remote and you paid a bunch of credits and you got kicked out, in which case you were already like kind of behind. You're forced to pay trash costs, but you're paying 1 less click and you get run triggers. You get run triggers, that's true. You get run triggers, but that's like a trade-off. You get run triggers, but if there's ice protecting it, then it's not good. So, it might force people to ice all their servers, which can be a pretty difficult thing to do for some decks. You get to piggyback a successful run trigger on it, yeah. Pop-up is way better if all servers are iced because of its instant speed nature. Anything that can knock down early Rashida feels like a consideration. Can be used to snipe Christian while making a successful run for deep dive / APOC. Okay, so the deep dive one, that is probably the best use case of the card, I think. Is if they're setting up Christian grids, you can use pinhole threading to run another central for your deep dive or APOC, and then you can use pinhole threading to trash the Christian grid. That's really good. So I guess that makes it good, but for remote purposes, I don't think it's that good. But for Christian grid, like if you're playing a Christian grid run all 3 centrals deck, then that's pretty good. I can see that making a slot or two. It's also 1 influence, so you can port it into out of faction APOC decks pretty easily. Anything that can knock down early Rashida feels like a consideration. I was gonna say that's true. Yeah, that's true. You can use it to knock down an early Rashida, but the issue is, it's really good for. You still have to. You're basically using it to check the card, but if it's a CTM, or if it's some kind of NBN, or if it's Argus, like you're still scared of hard hitting news. So you're still thinking twice about whether or not you want to play this to check the card that they installed. And if you're against PD, it might just be, turn 1, they might just like throw an agenda in there, or they might throw a Trank grid in there. So it's still, like, I guess it does help because you don't have to go through the ice. But I don't know, a lot of the times, like, just run the ice and see if they just make them res it. Sounds risky to spend it to hunt down early Rashidas when you really want it later for the voids. That too. But at the same time, like, you have to guess what card the void is. And if it's been there for a bit, then I guess it's easier because you know what cards are upgrades and what cards are not. I think the Chrysium use case is definitely the best one. The Chrysium deep dive APOC use is very, very good. So yeah, I guess it's good for that. It's good for that. I don't think it goes in every deck though. But that's the thing, like, I don't think it goes in every deck, but I think Polop, you can say like Polop does. So I think Polop is like a more flexible card. But if you're using it for a specific purpose of trashing Chrysiums on a central, then pinhole threading is better. So I should just run 3x Chrysium in my corpse. Even knocking down daily cast can be fun. I assume that means daily quest. Yeah. Daily quest, yeah. Can't 28 for the horror stories of people accessing CVS's snares and MV. 28. You were supposed to say wait. That's interesting. People accessing CVS's snares and MVTs with it. Yeah, that'll be good. Also, Joe brings up a funny point. You're using pinhole threading to trash Chrysium grids, but you just like, if you put Chrysium grids on HQ R&D and archives, then you got them. Because you can't pinhole threading a server with a Chrysium grid. MVT rotating will be... I'm excited for that. Is that true? Virtual Tour? Salsette Island? I think Sansan's rotating, right? Or not Sansan, Mumbad. Yeah, so I guess Virtual Tour is rotating. I'm excited for Virtual Tour rotating. I don't like this card. I do not like Virtual Tour. It adds... It is too much like asset spam randomness, I think. And I've played like an okay share of CTM, and it's like a huge threat. Like you install 3 things on the board, and they check one of them, and they access some MVT, and they trigger your ID. You just lose. So I don't like MVT. So I'm very happy that this card's going away. Yeah, I would like it more if like I think. In the situations where like you fired Rashida, you have 8 cards in HQ, and you're thinking about what cards to install, and you're like, I want to put MVT at this strategic spot because it adds to the trash cost of like running that server, and I like that use of it, but I don't like the fact that oftentimes I feel CTM, when you don't have a lot of cards in your hand, CTM plays itself. So you like have a hand of 5 cards, 3 of them are installable, so you go and install them. Are they agendas? Are they upgrades? Are they assets? You don't care. They're just installable cards, and you throw them on the board. And then as the runner, you're just guessing. You're not guessing what play they made. You're guessing what cards they drew. And that's like the part of CTM that I don't like. So getting rid of MVT is something that I look forward to. I wish CTM was going away instead of MVT. CVS is leaving? No. I need CVS. So you're saying CTM decks should have more card draw? Like Sensi? No. Honestly, like, I think a lot of people are like, we want to get rid of CTM, and I would support that. Because I think, like, CTM just... In a way, you can think of CTM as Grinder. Because Grinder focuses on cards and CTM focuses on money, and you just need to like maximize your deck's money output to beat CTM, and that's really what that is. Like you just don't have enough credits to go and trash their stuff, and if you do set up enough credits to trash the stuff, then you kind of walk all over them. But if you don't, then it becomes a bit of a guessing game. CTM would have been much more interesting if the tag were dodgeable. Money is an infinite resource, though cards aren't. That's true, but infinite doesn't like you don't have infinite time, and I guess like CTM also gives you the time pressure, and like Grinder doesn't. So I guess like the comparison doesn't hold that well. Yeah, the comparison doesn't hold too well. But like the reason that I don't play that much CTM, and also the reason I don't play much Gagarin, is because I stay away from decks where installing agendas naked is part of the game plan. because all somebody needs to do is randomly pick the right server, and like suddenly you're just behind for no real reason. Which is why I usually play like that's why I usually play like glacier-y decks, because I feel like I have more control over my game plan. Whereas CTM, like I understand that in CTM installing naked agendas is a very real and very threatening play. But all it takes is like the runner just has to make the right reads. Granted, it's hard to make the right reads, but if they make the right reads and just run your naked agendas, like you don't win games. So yeah. And I also understand like it's not the primary game plan. It might not be the primary game plan at least, but again, you play what your cards give you, and a lot of the times your cards give you naked agenda on the board. Just unrotate mid-seasons, then stealing an agenda randomly can screw a runner. That's scary. I remember at Canadian Nationals, Eric and Dean. I don't know if it was Eric. I don't think it was Eric. It was Dean. Dean was playing against Austin. And Austin was playing the outfit, and Dean was playing Andy. And I was like in the cut, so I was playing my cut game, and they were playing behind me. And when I finished my cut game, I went over to see what was going on. And this was in-person Netrunner, by the way. And it was outfit against Andy, and they both had like 115 credits because Austin was sitting around gaining credits, threatening midseason. So Dean was forced to sit around and gain money and not interact because he didn't want to get midseason. So they both just sat around gaining money because of a midseason threat, and they both had more than 100 credits. Yeah, the stalemate. That's exactly what it was. Oh, so good. And all it would have taken is 1-0 and home. Yeah, I don't remember the lists too specifically, but I'm pretty sure Austin was playing some kind of profiteering outfit. That's what happens when people forget that Imp is a card that you can play. Cold War energy intensifies. Yeah. So Eternal's true Wild Wild West, right? Okay. It is 5:46 for me at least. And it's probably different times for different people, but it has been a long and very fun stream, and I'm going to call it a day here. Next week, if nothing else changes, we'll play some green, play some Gagarin. Maybe play some outfit fast advance if we're not feeling the Gagarin, but we'll do that unless something else comes up. But that's the plan for now. Yeah. Thanks everybody for being here. I think at one point I was at like I think I saw around like 28, 30 live viewers, which was amazing. That's I'm really, really thankful for everybody joining the stream and also watching online on YouTube. It's been great, and I'm really happy that everybody's enjoying the content. Again, if you have any like suggestions or stuff, please message me. I think there's an email on. I think my email's on my YouTube, but also you can find me on Discord and on Slack. But until then, I will see y'all next week.